So, hello everybody. Hi, thank you so much for your support today. So, the DragoNation Forum 2015 is a new initiative presented by DragoNation with our program consultant, the Dragon Foundation, with the generous support from CLP Power Hong Kong Limited, the Hong Kong UST Business School, as well as my creative workshop. Today, we have brought together around 100 of social innovation pioneers and also young people to exchange knowledge and expertise in order to raise awareness of social innovation, understand how existing social entrepreneurship operates in Hong Kong and how it changes the world. And so you see, today is our MC, like Kenneth and myself, we are having our EQ card here, so to complement the event of today's forum. Well done. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And we all hope that all of you can have a very relaxing afternoon enjoying this annual flagship program by DragoNation. So before starting, this event will not be successful without the generous support of many people and parties. So first of all, may I introduce our guests today. First, we have Dr. KK Chair, Founding Chair and CEO, Education for Good CIC Limited. We have Mr. Jimmy Chiu, CEO of Cherry Picks Limited, Mr. Jimmy Tao, CEO of Adjunct International Biotechnology Limited, Mr. Nelson Yu, founder and chairman of Unleash Foundation, and Dr. Edwin Lee, founder of Bridgeway Prime Shop Fund Management Limited, Mr. Charles Law, CEO of Cultural Technology Limited, Dr. KK Wong, founder of the World Marketing Company Limited. We have two of our moderators today, Mr. Kai Lee, Chief Operating Officer of Chen Yidan Foundation, and also Mr. Lawrence Lui, Global Communication Director of Chen Yidan Foundation.
Thank you, Kenneth. Also, may I introduce the representatives from our sponsors, program consultant and supporting organizations. First, we have Professor Po Chi Wu, Adjunct Professor of Department of Management, Hong Kong UST Business School. Mr. Louis So, Deputy Director, Residential Channels and Marketing, CLP Power Hong Kong Limited. Ms. Shelley Lee, GBS OBE JP, Director of the Dragon Foundation. Mr. Marco Lam, representative of Mr. Creative Workshop. Ms. Cindy Kwan, Assistant Manager, Business Development of Cyberport. Mr. Ivan Chiu, President of ISET Alumni Association Hong Kong. Mr. John Ng, President of Hong Kong SAR, Outstanding Students Union. Mr. Lawrence Leung, Public Relations Manager of Swedish Culture Association. And Mr. Andy Chen, Chair of the United Social Entrepreneurship Conference Hong Kong.
And last but not least, we also have the honor to have Mr. David Lin, GBS ISO JP and Director of the Dragon Foundation. And thank you once again to all of our guests, social innovators, students, youngsters, and every one of you. And we are really excited to have you here with us at the DragoNation Forum 2015 today.
Right, to officially welcome you to this meaningful occasion, may we invite Ms. Cindy Leung, President of DragoNation 2015, to say a few words. Cindy, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I know May, and it is like Saturday in the May afternoon. Everyone has lots of activities, and you have chosen DragoNation. Thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to tell you guys why we are choosing social innovation. DragoNation is actually an alumni association of Dragon Foundation. All the programs that we have, like Dragon 100, and we have Global Citizenship Program, all these programs has outstanding Chinese all over the world coming over to Hong Kong. And then we have a very global talent network, as shown here, global talent network. That's why we are very concerned about our society. Today, we put together our social innovation workshop. This is to arise everyone's awareness on social innovation. Why it is important? Because we care about society, and innovation only encourages improvement. That's why we need our speakers here today. Very thank you to you guys that you have helped us in putting this together, social innovation. Again, I would like to express my thank you to our guests today as well. Other than our speaker, we have our kind sponsor from CLP, venue support HKUST, which I'm as well alumni as well, and Dragon Foundation. Thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Hope you will enjoy it, and it will be a very fruitful and inspired afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. And may we now invite our guest, Ms. Shelley Lee, GBS OBE JP, Director of the Dragon Foundation, also our program consultant, to give a few words. Please, Shelley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, how's everybody? Feeling good this afternoon, right? Well, you have a lot to look forward to because the Dragon Foundation, how should I put it, gave birth to the DragoNation about 7 years ago. And since then, they have never looked back. So many of our young leaders heading the DragoNation and taking turns, to be chairman, have made all the difference to, the many, many young people that we brought together under Dragon Foundation to network and to become creative wherever they are. And they're from all over the world, right, Clive? You've just been visiting them recently, too. Now, today, they have chosen the most meaningful subject to talk about, which is social innovation. And I, actually, for one, have always been a backer of social enterprises, and now I know it's even more important, to gather minds together and see how social innovation can go a level further. It's always important to take things one level further. All right. So this afternoon, I hope that you will listen, and learn from our many distinguished speakers, as well as share ideas, because ideas should be shared. Otherwise, there's no innovation. Quite frankly, one person can't think up everything by himself. And no man is an island, right, Lam Ye? As we all know. So anyway, I look forward to, hearing the speakers, how should I put it, put forward their wisdom and their experience. And I look forward to also having our young people here, share their ideas about how to take social innovation one level further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. May we now invite our guest, Professor Po Chi Wu, Adjunct Professor of Department of Management from Hong Kong UST Business School, our venue support as well, to share with us. Professor Wu, please.
Okay, good afternoon, and thank you very much, organizers, for inviting me. We're pleased to host you in this facility. This is where we hold some of our MBA and EMBA classes for the business school. Has to waste his time or her time going out and trying to raise money instead of actually contributing to do the good. So I believe in this idea of a business model. Okay, whatever it is you do, you have to have a business model that somehow generates profit. And I want you to accept the idea that sort of conventional wisdom says you can't have a double bottom line. You can't do social good and generate profit at the same time. That's the way many people will teach you in business school, and you talk to other business people, they say, no, that's not the right attitude. Just go for profit. I think that's not necessarily true. I mean, you can certainly do that, but once you decide to generate a profit, then it is simply a moral and ethical choice. What do you want to do with the profit? Right? So that's all there is. What's very important in all of this is the issue of leadership. And the leadership part is about, and I'll get this in a later slide, so maybe I won't go into that. But so just sort of plant that in your mind as well. So this is, again, one of the ways I like to share my thoughts, is I plant ideas, and I ask you questions, and I ask you to connect the dots yourself. So when you think about good news and bad news in terms of social entrepreneurship, what do you people, obviously many of you are interested in this area. So what do you think are some of the items of good news or bad news about social entrepreneurship? Anyone want to offer? You have thoughts?
The good news is that some leaders see that there are problems in the societies in different parts of the world, and they want to solve it in an effective way. The bad news is that there are two pieces of bad news. The first piece is some people take it as a money-making chance and turn it into something like, yes, wear a big hat and then doing something for him or herself. And another bad news is it's very difficult to actually make a social enterprise truly sustainable. First thing is because the profit is not easy to get. Sometimes it's pretty marginal and thin, and after a while you might feel kind of lost or fatigued or something, and then you want to give up. The second thing is it's not easy to propagate the idea of social goodness to the society, even the participants themselves. Yes, it's not easy to understand.
Okay, that's actually very interesting. We could talk all afternoon about that. But I do want to highlight those two things, right? In general, awareness is going up. And I've been teaching this for 5 years now. And every year, more and more students are interested in entrepreneurship, and more of them are interested in social entrepreneurship. They're rising to the challenge. I agree it's a challenge. But I think part of the reason it's a challenge, and again, I'm going to get to this a little bit later, is the wrong kind of mindset, that you already set it up in your mind as there is a conflict, that it is actually difficult. Now, this doesn't mean that every type of social good you can make money on. That's certainly not true, right? There's always going to be a place for those kinds of things where someone has to just do good because it has to be good. But the idea of being, or holding yourself to market forces in terms of being profitable, means that you don't have to focus on the idea of being good. Now, this is actually quite important, because if you look at what's happened with all these environmental initiatives, environmental kinds of projects, you know, the movements are all, you have to save the planet, you have to save the endangered species, you have to save the human race, whatever it is, and you have to sacrifice yourself. Okay, for me, there's a serious issue here. Now, of course, those are good things, right? We call them good. We say those are our high social values that we want to propagate, we want to sustain. But the problem is, when you push those things, you become a moralist. You become someone who is trying to enforce your idea of what is good on other people. And if you can sort of, maintain that, but not emphasize that, and just say, look, we're doing good, but we're also making money. We're creating jobs, we're contributing to society, and we are doing good things. But we want you to judge us by what we do, and not by what we say is our values. This doesn't say we have to deny the values. I'm not talking about being hypocritical. I'm just saying that it's actually, I'm suggesting that you put this as a question to yourself. Is this a way that you can, in fact, motivate people a little bit differently? Okay, so plenty of good news and plenty of bad news, like almost everything, like all change. The problem with innovation is change. Every time you have change, you have resistance. You have people who don't want to change, even if it's for good. Someone will argue with you and say, yeah, I believe in saving the whales or reducing pollution. Who's not against, who would be against reducing pollution, right? Nobody. but you can't make me pay for it. Right? That's what people resist. So anyway, lots of good news and lots of bad news. That's typical. All right, so what do you see in this image here? Anybody? Pick somebody from the back row. I'm coming. Who wants to answer?
Evolution.
Okay, so it's about evolution. What do you see? What kind of evolution are you seeing?
Basically showing human evolution, which seems like we're going in a circle.
Okay, that's certainly one interpretation. What are one of the characteristics of the evolution of human society? What do you see, right? You see the development of tools. Tools, we human beings have always developed tools. This is what has advanced our society. This is how we meet challenges. We're very smart. We're very clever as a species. We know how to do tools. And of course, engineers get a lot of credit for that. But it's not really about engineers. It's about people who recognize that there's a need, okay, for something better, and someone will come along and develop a tool to do that. Now, we are arguably at this stage, hopefully not so hunched over, and this actually looks kind of like an old person, you know. What I want you to think about is that each new generation creates new tools. So your generation, among the students here and former students, you're developing new tools that you understand better than the previous generation. This is very powerful. This happens in every evolution of human society. This means that young people have certain kinds of power, right, that their previous generation doesn't have. And this is going to be a special problem for the so-called millennial generation because this has never been the knowledge. You have access to so much more knowledge. It's so much more freely available that the previous generation doesn't have. And yet, my generation, we are hiring you young people. We're asking you to solve problems and use your new tools. And we don't know how to manage you. So you are going to have to take a different sense of leadership, okay? Leadership for your lives, for your work, and for any organization that you're in. This is another way to think about leadership. Where are we supposed to go? What are the choices? How do we make decisions? And today, we all are faced with this. Seems to be actually another issue for millennials especially. Too many choices, too complex. The world is so complicated. There's so much to think about, so much, everything seems to be interconnected. And we talk about exponential growth, exponential changes in technology and in social changes and all of these things. How do we keep up? How do we make decisions? Okay, I don't have any answers. That's also characteristic of all of my lectures. I don't give out a lot of answers. I give out lots of questions. I make people uncomfortable. I tell my students, that's my job. My job is to make you uncomfortable, because only when you're uncomfortable will you learn something. Okay? I don't care whether you learn what I know or not. That's totally irrelevant. Okay? Because my knowledge may be accurate today. Tomorrow somebody knows something more. It's just not important or interesting. You need to be, to show, to demonstrate, to grow, to embody leadership. You have to be constantly learning, constantly challenging yourself to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense of, gee, I don't know what's going on. Gee, I don't like what's going on. Gee, I wish I could influence change, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So leadership is about change, dealing with change. This is the one. What do you see here? I'll pick on somebody in this group. Come on. What do you see? Very simple. What do you think? No? Shy. Don't have to be shy. You're here among friends. How about you?
Is that someone make decision according to reason or feelings? like there are two kinds of like decision making. Someone make decisions because of some rational decisions, but someone may make their decision of their feelings or kinds of that. Is that right?
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, that's you know, what you see is you know, a graphic of the intellect, and the other has a label says intuition. But what I want you to observe is that this is just a head, right? It's a nice chopped off head, and presumably this is your frontal cortex, because that's where all the processing, cognitive processing goes. And on the other side, labeled as intuition, I didn't create this, but labeled as intuition is a whole body. It's a whole body, right? It's a whole body and a heart. Now, when I talk about innovation, I always describe it as has to exist at the intersection of what is rational and what is not rational. Okay? Something really new, if you want to create something really new, you have to go beyond the purely rational. Because if we were all rational, we'd say, okay, we're going to solve this problem, and we'd all solve it exactly the same way, and it wouldn't be interesting, and it wouldn't be really very innovative anyway. So, the role here, the non-rational part, is you have to focus on your heart, whatever heart means to you, but also this idea of intuition. So now I teach my students, I tell them that what I'm really trying to train you in is train your intuition. Okay? I don't need to train your brain. All the other faculty are doing the hard work. They do that. They give you all the nasty grades. They make you memorize stuff. You don't have to memorize anything in my classes. I don't have exams. But I make you work very hard. and I make you grade yourself, and I make you grade your teammates. Because I want to see, what I want to see is how you demonstrate what you have learned. If you can't demonstrate what you have learned, maybe you haven't learned it very well. Right? I don't care how much you learn. It's not important to me. It's only important to you. But consider that in order to be creative, in order to connect with other people as a leader, if you cannot use your heart and your intuition, the rational stuff doesn't work. Okay? We've all experienced that. Doesn't work. Your parents tried that with you. Doesn't work. Right? Schools try that. Doesn't work. You try that on your friends. It doesn't work. Because it's only part of the way we process information. Right? We process information with some combination of all this, of being a whole person. So remember, that's very key also in leadership. Oops. Okay, this is the last slide. So what does this slide tell you? This is supposed to be hopeful. What do we see? What's hopeful about this slide? Nobody? You're all discouraged?
I'm guessing from the image there's diversity and everyone's reaching up for the stars. So it's a united human race.
Right. See, that wasn't so hard, right? It's exactly, he said exactly what you see. You see diversity, different kinds, presumably, of people, different people reaching for the stars. So what does it take to do this? Okay, how, as a leader, do you achieve this kind of feeling? That's what you want, right? You want your team to be so inspired, so engaged, that you can have the courage, right? It's all about courage. The thing about leadership is it's really, really tough, because it's not about setting rules. It's not just about communicating well, which of course you have to do. It's not about planning, which you also have to do. It's all of those. But then at the very end comes the courage part, because we're afraid of change. The reason we resist change, including innovation, we all resist change. Okay, everybody, including me. We resist change because we're afraid. Right? People who have power are afraid because they think they're going to lose power. And many people are simply afraid of what's unknown. So the real challenge of leadership is to be able to inspire others to have the courage to dream really big, to work together, and you have to do this every day, even when you yourself aren't really sure that's what you're going to do. And that's what entrepreneurs face all the time, because entrepreneurs are always facing what's unknown. Innovators facing what's unknown. That means every day you're discouraged. You get frustrated. There's all kinds of challenges. Life is really tough. Life is not easy. You know, these great leaders, great whatever, Steve Jobs, anyone, it's not that it was easy for them. It's very, very challenging. But it takes a tremendous strength of character, tremendous persistence, a lot of patience, and of course, this ability to work with people in a very positive way. Even when, you know, we hear like Steve Jobs that he was supposed to be very mean and difficult to work with and so on and so forth. That's another issue. But at heart, okay, the secret and the joy and the power of leadership is that ability to inspire others. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now, may we now also invite our guest, Mr. Louis Shou, Deputy Director of Residential Channels and Marketing of CLP Power Hong Kong Limited, our event sponsor, to share with us. Mr. Shou, please.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. President of DragoNation, Director of Dragon Foundation, and all participants. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to come and share some of the ideas, which I believe is also an innovation from our company. I represent CLP. As many of you, I think you know what this company is about. We are one of the electricity suppliers in Hong Kong. Today is really my pleasure to share about an innovative idea that we came up internally within the company. And it's about combining what we believe are two very important elements that we face in our day-to-day business. One is about caring for the community. In fact, this company has a very long history about caring for the society, caring for the people. It really started with one of our founders of the company, the late Lord Kuduri. Many decades ago, when in the new territories, there were mainly like small villages, farmers, farmlands. He started distributing, donating electrical appliances to the villagers living in the new territories so that they can also have an access to the modern life. This year, today we continue to innovate and bring about different programs. So for example, last year we continue to donate electrical appliances. We donated over 4,000 sets of appliances, including refrigerators, induction cookers, and etc., to families in need. And about 2 weeks ago, we also announced a new program, which was to invite elderly people to Yam Cha. And we were very honored to have actually Shelley joining us as one of the honorable guests to kick off the event. So the other element, which many people today still have doubt, is about our effort to educate, to share energy-saving ideas with our customers. And this is one of the, I think, the dilemma that we faced many years ago. If some of you have seen the movie, The Inconvenient Truth, that was the time when the world, the awareness about environmentalism took to another level. And we, as one of the biggest energy suppliers in Hong Kong, at that time we were also accused as one of the biggest polluter in Hong Kong. But to be frank, the company is also very true to its heart about sharing with our customers, educating our customers about how to use our products more efficiently. And when you think about it, there are not so many companies in the world that would actually ask you as the customer to use less of the products that the company is providing. So we had two choices. So either we kept silent, or we came out and then to continue to share with the whole society, the community, how we want to save energy together with our customers. And this was not an easy decision, I have to say. And I'm not exaggerating. At that time, we saw some of our partners, our friends, actually trying to keep a distance from us because of the kind of reputation that we had. Yeah. But what we learned from that experience is that even with a very good cause, you still need to face many typical business challenges. For example, how do you want to communicate with your target audience? And how do you want to actually cascade that messages? And we did it by asking our customers about what they think about energy efficiency. Interestingly, one of the questions when we ask is about who do you think have the biggest responsibility to save energy? The number one answer that came up was they see it themselves having the biggest role to save energy. The second question we asked was about, so what was holding you back from saving energy at your home? Then they said, most of them would say, because they do not have the necessary information. Now, based on all these insights, arguably, I think our company, we can really claim that we have the most knowledge about saving energy in a home. But instead of calling ourselves a leader, we actually said we want to be a partner to our customers so that we can work together with them to save energy. And also one of the other reasons is also because we believe that everyone really has a role to play in saving energy. So after we wrote out different programs, including energy saving competitions, including an online tool through which our customers can understand how they use their energy compared to other families in the neighborhood. And through all these different programs, we accumulate a lot of knowledge. We also won a lot of industry recognitions about our marketing programs, our efforts, etc. So last year, when we were thinking about how to take this step forward, we had an internal brainstorming. And there was a very brilliant idea that came from our staff. The idea was not from our management. It was actually coming from our staff who day-to-day work with our community on about caring about the society and saving the energy. It was an idea to combine the two initiatives in an unprecedented way. And we call this program Power Your Love. We literally looked through other utilities in like 17 countries and realized that we were the first company actually to introduce this kind of program. What this program does is to give a deeper meaning for our customers, in particular the families, to save energy. Because for each unit of electricity that is saved, the company would donate that electricity to those families in need. And our customers can actually participate in this program through different methods. One, as I said, is about saving electricity. So if you are a Shelley customer, I congratulate you because you have a right and you can participate in it. So for every unit of electricity that you save in June and July this year, the company, the shareholders, will donate one equivalent unit of electricity to the family in needs. If you can successfully recommend this program to your friends, and they also register in the program, then for each unit of electricity that you save, we will donate 2 units of electricity. If you are not a Shelley customer, then you still have a way to participate in it, which is by donating money. And again, we will match the donation on a $1 to $1 basis. Yeah. So in total, the shareholders is prepared to donate in 6 million Hong Kong dollars, which we believe that if we can manage to get more donation, in total aggregation, we'll be able to help more families, and we're expecting to help over 20,000 families in need. Who are the beneficiaries? This year, we have identified 3 groups of beneficiaries. One is about those students who need to work in the special schools. You may not know. These students are usually like severely physically handicapped or mentally handicapped. And they could not take care of themselves, and some of them, they have to actually both stay in the school. And in the summertime, because of all the protection gears they have to wear, it's actually unbearably hot even in the nighttime. So part of the donations will go to these people. Then the second group are the families living in the subdivided flats. And the third one are the singleton elderly people. And believe me, I think if you have looked into some of the statistics, the aging population is actually getting bigger and bigger. As I said, even a program with a very good cause, how to communicate is still a very big problem that we face day to day. So to support this program, we came up with a campaign called Power Your Love. With a kickoff announcement, we were very, very glad to see a lot of support from the government as well as from the community. We launched a short video program on the TV, which is basically sharing tips how to save 1 unit of electricity. It's really very easy to do it at home. But like advertisement is only one of it. The most important part is really to engage our customers as well as our partners. So we hold talks together with, like for example, Hong Kong Observatory, the Science Park, and some of the big organizations. Remember I said a few years ago, we actually saw some of our partners and friends trying to keep a distance from us because of their reputation. Today we see them like extending their arms and then look forward to working with us together. Because they also see helping their staffs to understand how to save energy at home is also a right thing to do. We don't forget about our staffs. And to support this program, I think in fact, the first thing we do is to educate ourselves so that our staff can have a better understanding and they can also be an ambassador to the program. It's very easy to register in the program. If you can allow me to just like to make a very small announcement, which is by clicking to the link, go to our website, and you can do it. A few weeks ago, I was invited to be one of the judging panels to screen some of the social innovation business proposals. One thing that I was really touched is that there were a lot of young people who have a very good heart, and they know what kind of social problem they want to address. But at the same time, I also noticed that many of the proposals actually lack thinking about how to make their initiatives sustainable in a more commercial sense. So, and many of them also underestimated the effort they would need to make to promote the message, to communicate with their target audience. When I listened to what Professor Wu said, and also during the early discussions with some of the guests, an idea came to my mind, which is, today we actually have a platform. If you ask me, I can tell you, the customers with our territory, the amount of energy that is saved compared to last year. We also have a platform through which our shareholders are prepared to make a donation. So my question to all of you is also an open invitation, is are there other ways that we can utilize this platform actually to encourage more energy saving in our society, so that we can continue to benefit more families in Hong Kong, riding on the platforms that we have provided. Because I think for me, I do believe in cross-pollination of ideas. And then for new startup, for new ideas to going forward, apart from generating an idea completely on your own, the other way that I see it could work is by collaborating with some of the existing platforms, working together with other great minds. So that's the open invitation to all of you. If you have any idea, I do welcome you to contact me or our staff, our colleagues today here, so that we can have a further discussion. Thank you very much.
invite Mr. David Glenn, GBS, ISO JP, to come on stage to present the souvenir together, accompanied by Ms. Cindy Learn, to present souvenir to our guests of today. Thank you.
Yes. So, first of all, may I invite Mr. KK Chair, Founding Chair and CEO of Education for Good CIC Limited, to come on stage. Thank you, Dr. Chair. And also, may I invite our guest and speaker from the first panel, Mr. Jason Chiu, CEO of Cherry Picks Limited, and also Mr. Jimmy Tao, CEO of Recurgent International Technology Limited, and also Mr. Nelson Yip, founder and chairman of Unleash Foundation.
One by one.
All right. All right, one by one.
All VIP. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, Mr. Jimmy Tao. Yeah, he's our alumni as well.
Tall, handsome, and smart. That's what I'll say. That represents DragoNation. Great.
And also, Mr. Lausen Yu.
Please. Hello, how are you, Nelson? Great, great. Right. Pleasure. Excellent. One more over there. Okay, one more. Okay. Felix? Please. Right. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nelson. And also Mr. Clive Lee, also our moderator and our alumni of DragoNation. And Clive is also now a Chief Operations Officer of the Chen Yidan Foundation.
Congratulations. Actually, very good. Something that we all should learn. Wonderful. Right. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lan. Please be seated.
Thanks, Clive. Thank you.
Now I wish everyone can also put your hand together to welcome another DragoNation director, Ms. Julianne Ho, JP, to come on stage to do another session of our presentation. Thanks. First of all, may we have Professor Po-Chi Wu, Adjunct Professor of Department of Management, HKUST Business School. Thank you, Professor Wu. And Mr. Louis So, Deputy Director, Residential Channels and Marketing, CLP Power Hong Kong Limited. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. So. And also, please stay. And also, Mr. Stanley To, Secretary General, the Dragon Foundation. Last but not least, our production support, Mr. Michael Lam, representative of My Creative Workshop. Is there any representative coming along today? Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Ms. Ho and Cindy, please stay as well. And as I said before, today's is a really successful event, and we have lots of supporting organizations. So may I now invite all the representatives of our supporting organization to come on stage to receive the souvenirs. And there are like Ms. Cindy Kwong, Assistant Manager of the Business Development of Cyberport. And also Mr. Ivan Chiu, President of ISAC Alumni Association Hong Kong. Maybe we can have all on stage and we can photo. And further we have Mr. John President of HKUST Outstanding Students Union. And Mr. Lawrence Learn, Public Relations Manager of the Swedish Culture Association. And last but not least, we have Mr. Andy Chen, Chair of the United Social Entrepreneurship Conference Hong Kong. Please, Andy. Thank you. So may all of you stay on stage, and now we have the photo taking section. So may I also invite all of the guests, including our speakers, keynote speakers, and our distinguished guests on stage, and we have the group photo taking section. And yeah, maybe a start. Yeah. So maybe we stand closer and ready, 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, so thank you so much, and please all of us give a big hand to all supporters, speakers, and also distinguished guests. And please be seated. Thank you.
So now let's get started of today's Social Innovative Forum by inviting our keynote speaker, Dr. KK Se, founding chair and CEO of Education for Good CIC Limited. Dr. Se has held senior executive positions in the Shelley Group before setting up his own management consultancy company, KK Se and Associates, in 1992. He has retired early from 2000 onwards and has been active in promoting social entrepreneurship in Hong Kong. And he is the first member of the Ashoka Support Network in Hong Kong since 2007. And he is also the co-founder of a social enterprise, DID Hong Kong Limited, which brought Dialogue in the Dark of Hong Kong and China in 2008. Since 2010, Dr. Se became a member of the government-appointed Social Enterprise Advisory Committee. Dr. Se, please. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me say that I have to rush right after this talk to another important meeting, Dialogue in the Dark shareholders meeting. Wow. It happened that the meeting will start at 4, at 8:04, so I have to rush a little bit. Now, I'm really excited today. I don't usually give talks like this, and when I do, I usually charge a lot. I learned it from one of the most unreasonable person in the world. Daniel Epstein. Daniel Epstein is the founder of Unreasonable Institute. Have you heard of Unreasonable Institute? Unreasonable Institute in the States is one of the most innovative. You can't describe it as a school or an education institute or an incubator. Actually, it is one of its kind. But its own whole purpose is to nurture and support social entrepreneurs for all the world. And this young man, he is only 32 years old this year. has been the founder of this unreasonable institute. Anyway, he's coming to Hong Kong in September, so watch out. The Social Enterprise Summit has invited him to come over to launch the Social Enterprise Summit. I think it's mid-September. Anyway, when we invited him, he charges a lot of money. And because he said he is running a social enterprise, and he does not take any salary from the social enterprise. All his income comes from speeches that he makes in different parts of the world. So it is fair enough. But I'm not as famous as him. And I only make speeches in Hong Kong, and whenever I have the chance, I usually charge an honorarium. But most organizations could not afford even an honorarium. So instead, I asked them to buy some books for the audience. So actually, I asked Cindy to buy books to give every one of you a copy of this book, which I think is very important. But Cindy said, she doesn't have the budget. Anyway, I have brought along 30 copies as gift to you, all of you. Okay? Now, I will be handing out this pen myself. The rest, 20 copies, I leave it to Cindy and her team to find a way to give it to the most, the people who will be who are most likely to benefit from it. Let me tell you, this little book, I think it's very important. It might change your life after reading it. Now, I am one of the two editors. The other person is Rebecca Yun. She is the vice chair of Education for Good. We do a weekly column on Hong Kong Economic Journal. But today, every Saturday, even today, there's a very, very interesting story. Anyway, I will giving out this very soon. Now, my speech, my presentation, very, very short. Basically, if you can't remember anything today, I hope when you leave this world, you will remember this sentence. I believe, after spending 67 years on this earth, that this statement is true and very important for all of you. Social entrepreneurship will be the most important force changing the world for the better in the 21st century. Okay, now, I need 5 volunteers to come out. And each of them will receive a book. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. Okay, please come out. Okay, please stand over here. Okay, that's okay. Now, to qualify, to get a copy of the book, you have to answer just one simple question. Now, I made this statement, you may or may not agree with me. It doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with me. What I would like to hear from you is that, okay, do you agree with this statement? If yes, why? If no, why? Why not? It doesn't matter whether you say yes or no. I'm interested in the why. Okay, anyone first? Yes, guy.
No.
No, okay, yes.
Because I believe social entrepreneurship will be the most important force for changing the world in the whole history, not only 21st century. Because myself experience in Dialogue in the Dark, and I see how inspiring and empowering those underprivileged through social entrepreneurship. Actually, they just transform, we usually think weakness into opportunities. And I really encourage each of you to go to Dialogue in the Dark.
Okay, thank you. There's the vote. Thank you. Yes? All right. Whatever.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. Because I'm doing kind of business is e-learning system. It's served to many students with fair price. So I think we can to force our ability to serve the society through our ability and also our hand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
the next one. I believe so. I believe that social entrepreneurship will be one of the most important force. The reason behind this, the reason why we have Social Innovation Forum today. Yes, if I don't think it's important, then I would not have this forum happen.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm not saying that social entrepreneurship will be one of the most important forces. I'm saying that it is the most important force. Okay, so do you still agree with me?
Still agree. Still because we are doing it, and I believe that if every business should be doing good for the society in long term, otherwise it will not exist.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Next.
I absolutely agree with it, and it is not one of the most important forces. It's actually the most important forces. The reason is that social entrepreneurship actually driving other changes as well. Because once we say social entrepreneurship, we're actually making many aspects well as well. So we don't just make profit for certain people in certain industry, but actually we are doing good for the whole world. So that's the reason for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I definitely believe this, and I think for today's world, it's all going towards fairness, openness, and the poverty, the people in the poverty, they demand change, and the big enterprises even today, which do not label them as social enterprises, if they do not have the mindset of CSR, if they do not have the thinking of social goodness, I don't think they will survive. So yes, it's going to change the world, and that's the most important force.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Let me continue. I do believe that social entrepreneurship will be very, very, very important. And that's why I don't believe technology will be as important as social entrepreneurship. Because it's blind. Basically, it could do good and also do bad. Very often, we may not know how to make good use of technology. Not government. Government wants to do good, but most government in the world, including our own, too weak and not imaginative enough. And not business yet. We want to change with business too, but it takes time. They're too profit-oriented as of today. Now, education should be an important force. But most educational institutions in the world and in Hong Kong are too compromised by various kind of constraints. Philanthropy. Now we need more philanthropy. Yes, philanthropy is good, but it's too soft-hearted. Okay, now career options. I think you could go into science and technology, government and politics, business and professions, education, all sorts of things. All these are your options, including social entrepreneurship. But if you ask me, I would recommend social entrepreneurship because it is very challenging. I guarantee you, this is the thing that I can guarantee you, extremely challenging, but it can also be very impactful, create a huge impact on society and the people around you. Rewarding. Now, rewarding, very often we think about reward in terms of money. Okay, money is important, and in social entrepreneurship, you can still make money, but it's not as great as going to iBank or some other professions. But you can decide what kind of rewards are most important to you. In social entrepreneurship, you have other kinds of reward, not just money. and relevant to your concern, to the society's needs, to the future of the world. Okay, now, purpose. In my educational courses that we offer, we invite, encourage the participants to re-examine each of them's purpose in life. But we find it very difficult. We can encourage them, we can inspire them to do this, but very often people find it difficult to re-examine one's purpose. Okay, I don't know the correct way to do it, but one way that we try is what we call purposeful role modeling. You try to identify some role models in this world and see if they could inspire you to rethink and confirm your own life purpose. Find a role model in the world, study this person in depth. Fortunately, if you have the internet, you can find a lot about the person. There could be books, videos, blogs, and also commentaries, so on. And then try to meet this person in face to face. Now, I would encourage you, find this person, study this person, and then find an occasion to meet this person who is your role model, and tell this person that you want to exceed his or her achievements. Now, you may think that this is too much. This is what I have learned about role modeling. The role model, 呢個詞呢, very common term. Most people don't know what it means, but they miss one important thing. My definition of role model is someone, if this person is my role model, he should be able to inspire me to the extent that I want to exceed his achievements. For example, my role model, Henry Eunice, you all know him. And 3 years ago, he was in Hong Kong, and I had the chance to have lunch with him. And I told him, Professor Eunice, you inspire me so much that I want to exceed your achievement. Now, he has received a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't think I have the chance to receive this prize, but it doesn't mean that I could not exceed his achievement. Now, I'm committed to spend the rest of my life nurturing, educating, supporting social entrepreneurs in the Greater China region, of course, including Hong Kong. And if one day a Chinese national social entrepreneur received the Nobel Peace Prize, I would consider that I have exceeded Professor Yu's achievement. Now, you may laugh, and I don't know whether or not I will succeed, but this is what I intend to do for the rest of my life. That gives me a purpose. That gives me the reason to come here to talk to you. Let me share with you, just now, when we were taking the picture, when someone takes a picture of you, you have to smile. But sometimes you don't know what to smile for. Just for the picture, I don't do this anymore. So I have to think of an occasion that I would be really happy, so that the photographer will capture my smile. Just now, I was thinking, one of you received the Nobel Peace Prize. How happy I will be. But that is what how my smile contains. If you look at that picture again, you know I was thinking, one of you going to Stockholm, receiving it. No pressure. Sorry. No pressure. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So go find the role model. Now, then you ask me, I want to briefly introduce him to you because he is half of my age. Now, this young man, probably the most unreasonable young man on earth, he founded unreasonable book. Why we do call it unreasonable? Bernard once said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. And that's why Daniel founded this institute. And there is actually a book called The Power of Unreasonable People. Very good book. How social entrepreneurs create markets that change the world. Now, the unreasonable group, not just the institute, also have unreasonable SC. You remember, you were there, were you? Unreasonable IS. This is a website. Unreasonable Ventures, Unreasonable Media, Unreasonable Capital, Unreasonable Galactic. This is about space travel. Space travel. And he has received a lot of honors. Just too many. Anyway, this young man, how old is he? Only 52 this year. And he's coming to Hong Kong. Now, I introduce him to you because he could be one of your role models. If you are not sure, look him up. Google. You'll find a lot about him. But there are video. Anyway, okay. Let me give you talk about 30 under 30. Now, Forbes magazine, the business magazine in the US, they publish every year a list of 30 under 30, 30 distinguished young persons in the States who are under 30. In Hong Kong, there are no such list, and I don't propose to have one, but I'm looking for, I try to gather together 30 young people who have demonstrated themselves to have potential in either creativity, innovation, or entrepreneurship. I'm thinking of designing a 6-month program for them so that they can get together and to be inspired by some leading social entrepreneurs. And then they could work individually or in teams on some social purpose project. Imagine, this would be very powerful. And I would like to kick it off with a one-day gathering with Daniel. I'm sure you will be inspired by him. Okay, would you like to join this? Now, you can send your one-page CV to me before June 15th. If you are over age, nominate. Recommend someone. Okay, that's what I would like to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I think it's very very nice, inspiring speech. And any questions? If not, maybe we can.
Okay, I have time only for 5 questions. I will listen to the question first, and then I'll give you a response. Anyone who asks a question, we have a vote. Okay, one, yes, please. 不如企起身先啊，企先啊。Who else？ 你已經我就會俾第二個機會啊。Give other people a chance. Anyone? Any other person have? Yes. 3. Okay. 4. Yeah, please stand up. Tell us your question. One more opportunity. Yes. Okay.
It's concerning the impact of social entrepreneurs. I just wonder how can social enterprise can scale up and has the power that's comparable to a business.
Okay, scale. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll respond to you. Yes. I'll give you the book first, and then you can sit down.
So,
yes,
you have mentioned that technology will not be one of the impact that can push the world further. But I believe, yes, the social entrepreneurship is one of the most important force. But how it can really involve this education or technology together to push the,
Okay, technology, how, okay, how social entrepreneurship could leverage technology. Yes,
Hi.
please.
Well, I'm still a student, and I want to ask how can a student start entering the career path of being a social entrepreneur?
Okay, attend Professor Wu's course. No. Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. Student.
I want to ask, what is the criteria to be 30 under 30?
Okay. To join this program, right? Yes.
We all know social innovation is not easy. How to make those passionate social innovators stay in this sector, even they may not get profit or to sustain the innovation. I mean, how to keep the passion going in the
Okay.
profession, even they're having difficulties.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I will give you. The other one, okay, if I remember correctly, your first question, scale, technology, student, how to get involved, and then criteria, and then passion. How to maintain the passion? Okay. Now, first of all, scale. Very difficult. Setting up a sustainable social enterprise is challenging enough. Scaling it up is even more challenging. Extremely challenging, but it can be done. Let me give you just an example. In China, on the whole, Hong Kong is more advanced than China, mainland China, in terms of social enterprise development. But the largest social enterprise in China is hugely larger than any of the social enterprise in Hong Kong. In China, the largest social enterprise is called 產油集團。產係生產嘅產，油朋友係生產嘅。How many employees do they have? Over 3,000. And they are doing extremely good. Profitability very, very high. Social impact huge because they hire primarily handicapped or people with disabilities, and but they do very, very good business. So they could do it. In Hong Kong, we haven't have any social enterprise that come close. So I believe it can be done, but it takes a lot of innovation. Okay, now technology. I don't think technology is the most important force changing the world for the better, for the social entrepreneurship. But social entrepreneurship must leverage, must harness, must make use of technology. Now I have being a retired person, I don't want to spend time learning new technology, but I'm forced to do it because in order to have any impact on the social entrepreneur, to support more social entrepreneurs, I have to harness technology. So technology is still important, and social entrepreneurs, social innovators must harness, leverage technology to create impact. Okay, student. Our student, very encouragingly, over the last few years, almost all universities in Hong Kong have begun to offer courses on social entrepreneurship. If you belong to any of the university, look out for these courses. Try to enroll in it and learn from it. And if you could not find any good courses in your own university, go to another university. I mean, you don't have to quit your university. You just attend their courses. For example, if you're a UST student and you do not find the courses you like, go to CTU, Hong Kong U. Be an audit student. I'm sure they work with you. Okay? And then 30 under 30. Okay. Now to apply for this, you must have demonstrated that you have some potential in either creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. You in your submission, your one-page CV, you must tell us that what you have done. For example, you have started social enterprise, or you have invented a certain device that benefits the needy, and so on. Because competition will be very high. You must have already demonstrated something. And if you haven't done it, work hard this year, come back next year. And then finally, passion. Now, passion, very important, very extremely important. And I could not help you to increase your passion. But one thing that I think very valuable is inspiration from your role models. I don't have time to go into it now. Sometimes, in the 5 years that I've been working in the social enterprise field, I have also met a lot of challenges, very difficult situations. And one of the things that I remember, for example, when I was stuck with a huge problem, I would remember one of my role models in the States or in some place, they could tackle the issue much bigger, more complex than mine. So I just feel let's find a way to do it. So that is why role models are very important. They could, even though you may not have met this person, they could still inspire you. Okay, I have time only for this.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Larry.
Thank you.
We all give a big hand as well. Thank you. And so, hope you guys all enjoy the section we had, and we are now going to have a very important section, which is the tea break section. And besides the refreshment, and please cherish your chance to networking or talking. So, hi everyone, and welcome back to the second part of today's program, and hope you enjoy the refreshment. Is it good enough for the food and the drinks? Yeah. So, so we're now going to have the second part of the program, which will be a plenary section of today's program. And the first plenary section will be, the topic will be leading change through innovation. And maybe I briefly introduce about the structure of the coming program. And we will have 3 speakers sharing their views about this topic. And then first of all, they will share it one by one, and then we will have the moderator and holding a panel section with some discussion. And in the panel section, we really welcome all of you guys to have any questions or sharing, and hope we have more interaction in this section. So,
yeah, so let's put our hand together to welcome our first speaker of the day, Mr. Jason Chu, CEO of Cherry Picks. And Jason is actually the founder and CEO of Cherry Picks, a leading mobile technology and mobile commerce innovator in the Asia-Pacific region. And he has a lot of global clients, actually, including HSBC, Hong Kong Jockey Club, Unilever, etc. So Jason is actually an industry icon as well in Hong Kong, well known for his successful entrepreneurship experience, mobile and innovative, and also technology. So Jason, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the kind words, and thanks for this wonderful forum. When I was first invited to speak, it was an honor, and of course I was very happy. But I look at the topic, social innovation. It seems to be a little bit far away from we were just commented by technology is not going to be the most important part. And I'm technopreneur, right? Anyway, I felt very happy shortly afterwards because this would be a great opportunity for me to learn. And sure enough, we had illuminating speakers, Professor Wu and Dr. Zhe. And even before the session was started, I was in that little small room. I picked up a few inspiration from just a casual conversation. So thanks again. What I'm going to do is, in the next 10 minutes, I'm not going to talk about my humble entrepreneurial journey. Some of you might be tired of listening to that. But I will talk about some life experiences, learnings in that 15 years of ups and downs. And mind you, I've gone from cradle to halfway. Last year, the strategic merger, yes, we have partially exited, but it was a strategy for us to get into China and to go global. So it was hardly an exit. So we're still working very hard. Just for some of your information, we are not sitting back. We are still working on our apps. We're still looking at the global market. We're still innovating tirelessly to make things happen, to make a difference. So what are the few things I'm going to share? 5 things. First, I believe in the last 15 years, it has resonated back to me that we all ought to have a dream, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. All right? Do you have a dream? Your dream could be a social cause or a career in professional industry or a startup business or a product idea, but you ought to have a dream. Now, if your dream has anything to do with money, I'll urge you to think twice, right? You cannot be, your dream cannot be as rich as, I want to be as rich as Li Ka-shing. I mean, just see beyond the narrow definition of money and on something that is much more than money. Money is a byproduct of once you realize that dream. Mark Zuckerberg said, I do not create products or build products to make money. I make money to create products. So money is just a means for them to realize their dreams, right? We ought to go beyond that. Last year, we did a strategic merger with a company called NetDragon. The founder, DJ, is an interesting guy. Well, he might not be as unreasonable as Daniel Aspin, but he's very innovative. One of his dreams was to work inside the Enterprise spaceship in Star Trek. Now, if you realize in the last 2 weeks, there are CNN money news and circulation. Somebody actually took a drone and flew over Fujian province in Fuzhou and actually spotted a huge spaceship office, a campus. It was literally licensed from US, from Star Trek, right? And they built this huge spaceship that resembles exactly like Enterprise spaceship. And the entire campus, this is the headquarters of NetDragon, recently built, almost finished, and will be inaugurated soon. The entire campus is about 20 times the size of Cyberport. Now that was a dream, and he's making it a reality. Spaceship, apart from the spaceship, there is a hotel for visiting colleagues like me, and that hotel resembles Pentagon. It looks exactly like Pentagon, slightly bigger. There are pyramids, structure, not those in Egypt, but in Paris, in Louvre, right? And those pyramids house several interesting things. One of them housed one of the largest 3D printers in the world. It was rumored that it could print a car, but it didn't say it would work or not. So it's the second nature, or the second point that I like to share. Once you have a dream, make it big. It's go big or go home. Think Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is the inventor of electric car Tesla. He doesn't entertain small ideas, but that's why he's so successful. Apart from the fact that he has extreme personality, but whatever you think is big. What is he doing now? He's not thinking about electric car anymore. He's actually thinking about putting people in Mars, building a colony, building batteries that power homes, right? Call him crazy, but he exemplifies making dreams big, right? And for what I've seen, if you don't shoot for the sun, you don't land on the moon. So, I've gone through a lot of failures. Now, I could aim very low, I still fail. Why bother? Dream big. Third thing, I think both Professor Wu and Dr. Zhe have mentioned, seek for role models. In my words, Sifu. Seek for Sifus, mentors. Mentors are everywhere. Choose carefully. A lot of noises out there from people who have not experienced or done entrepreneurship or raised fund or failed or launched a product or create a product before, but they still have professional opinions. You tell from advisors, to role models, to friends, okay? But seek your own set of sifus. Put them in your heart, and then keep them for the long term. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of sifus. And some of these sifus are enemies who wholeheartedly wanted you to fail. But, you know, guess what? They are the impetus of energy that you turn into positive drive for yourself, right? So, love your enemies. Really, I mean, it's not a biblical comment. It is actually a true comment for someone who has started his own business. And I've experienced a few of these. Worthy competitors are much more valuable than people who come and praise you all the time. Okay, criticism, a good thing. But number 3, well, you dream big, you have a dream, you make it big, you have a lot of sifus, but then you will still fail. Right? So be prepared to meet 3 friends. First, failure. Embrace failure. I have my own fair share or more than fair share of failure, but I'm still standing here. Some I wouldn't even talk about, but for those that I shared, I could tell you I've gone through fail fast, fail big, and fail forward. First of all, fail fast. I started in year 2000 when the internet bubble burst. I focused on mobile because I didn't believe in .com. I thought mobile phone going from voice to data is going to change the world. It will create a new set of companies. I will be one of them. My vision from that day to today, same. Mobile commerce. Still create, whether it's iButterfly or mobile banking app, it's still about mobile commerce. I just have to be the best in technology and user experience for that, okay? Fail fast. When we started the business, although we were in mobile, the internet bubble burst really impacted on us. I believe it was August that we had a term sheet and due diligence completed for a $7 million injection from a VC, named to be remain anonymous, although I believe I said that before. That's a good sound effect.
What do you think is the question?
Trust me, that wasn't planned. Yeah, coming back to fundraising. That fundraising turned a very difficult 90-degree after the announcement of the VC's bankruptcy. Because they backed a lot of .coms and obviously something went wrong. A lot of things went wrong. So our $7 million injection was gone. We were forced to change from a B2C business model to a B2B if we were to continue. So we failed. No one failed faster than us. We failed before we begin. Do we pivot? Do we change our model? It actually fundamentally changed everything. I had to beg for investment, and I had to do it the way like no other. I actually went to my customer, asked them to invest so that we can give them the product as a service and a platform. These customers were my clients when I was at Deloitte in my previous life. Second, fail big. Well, after pivoting a few times, we had some traction. We built to a reasonable size. We had profit. We could have gone listed on GEM. We did not. Instead, we actually went to a VC and say, well, we wanted to do my B2C plan now. And with this time, with a proven record of profit and a team and years of toughing it up. So they bought into that. We raised $25 million. And then we did a B2C business. Well, everyone knows a B2C business like the 9gag, right? 9gag in Hong Kong. We were doing similar things like that, but on mobile social media. It's called Youdian. People know us in China because we didn't launch in Hong Kong. It was only in China. We had about 500 people, 5 million users, all real name basis, 200 contracts with universities. Long story short, we burned out 25 million, we needed more. Fair enough, social media business, especially in mobile, you burn faster, so you go raise fund. Raise fund again, I have another big problem. problem was the climate. When Lehman Brothers happened, the climate quickly turned. It became my second excuse, the excuse of not being able to raise funds. I was having a burn rate of $1 million per month. So how could you continue without a second funding or an extra funding? So I had two choices. One is to close down or to sell out. If I did a sellout, I sold the China social media business. At the same time, I made one of the biggest decisions in my life, a management buyout of all the investors, but keeping them in good terms. So that was very difficult, emotionally and technically, actually. That was felt big, pretty big. By 2008 standard for a Hong Kong startup, losing $25 million, 2億港紙, right? From someone who started from scratch. Right? Third one, fail forward. I think you might recall that the first universal suffrage voting in Hong Kong actually happened, but not for the chief executive, for Miss Hong Kong. It was done by us, and it failed. So we had to get in, we had to get in front of the television together with TVB and Microsoft and apologize to the public. Right? So we call this fail forward because what we did was we basically accepted and apologized, accepted that it was our fault, although it's debatable. But we apologized and we actually reorganized the same voting a week later, and it was successful. And thereafter, years of universal suffrage for Miss Hong Kong was done by us. Okay, so fail big, fail fast, fail forward. These will be your new friends. Second friend, your team. Well, I think we'll talk a lot about the psychology of leadership, right? I think these days there is no management. It's all inspire, then manage. Same with us. And my team sometimes lead me, sometimes I lead them. Mutual coaching. Number three, the third friend, yourself. Why is it a friend? Believe it or not, you think you know yourself well. After you become entrepreneur, then you really start to know yourself. Because you'll be pushed into extreme situations with your family, your teammates, company, financial, investor, clients, suppliers, into these extreme situations where you really forced to see your true color, your own true color. Then you start to understand yourself. It is a self-discovery process, I found it. So these three friends. And the last one is, I guess, the magic of success. And for Winston Churchill, he called this success because it's going from failure to failure without losing passion. For Steve Jobs, it means perseverance. Right? So if you have these five, based on what I've gone through, it might take very long, like what I've taken, 15 years. It might take someone else 15 months, but I believe you will encounter all five of them. I hope you find that useful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason. And please be seated. And now may I introduce the background of the second speaker of the panel section, who is Jimmy Tao. Mr. Jimmy Tao, CEO of Adjunct International Biotechnology Limited. So may I briefly introduce the background of Jimmy. And besides leading a biotechnology company which saves lives every day, and Jimmy also has been a lecturer, a guest lecturer at the City University of Hong Kong and also the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, which sharing experience to lots of students locally and internationally, and also sharing his experience applying to novel technologies to social innovation as well. And also what I think really amazing is that Jimmy also is a writer, going to publish a book, has written a book about Chinese culture, which will be published in June 2015 by Taiwan Business Weekly, right? So please give a big hand to Jimmy and enjoy his sharing. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? Yes, okay. Actually, you see that like how failures make Jason a great inspirational speakers. And then I think like during a Q&A session, most of the people will ask our failures.
And I always answer with a really short answer saying like, actually failures makes you a really attractive man. A man with 有故事的男人, okay? That's how Jason can speak so long, with all the failures, stuff like that. And well, like any of my students from the university, any? No? Anyway, for those who attend my class, actually they know I have a tradition, the tradition to follow. It is to give out money, and actually this is to try to encourage people to ask questions by the end of my sessions, and please ask questions. And then usually I would give up just 500 for one person, but I really listen to my audience, so I changed it from 5,000 for one person and to like 100. So I keep it here. Please remember that, I would like to use my PowerPoint a bit for my presentation because I'm not sure everyone here understands what I'm doing with my company. But a bit of them are quite technical, but don't ask me, okay? So I'm not here to try to brag about how good my company is doing, but I think you guys can find it from local or international medias, And one of the highlights, because why we suddenly become so popular was because the chief executive actually hosts a reception for something that we have done in Geneva, and then we got the what they call the grand prize. We actually win this prize out of over 100 countries and then over 200 judges to win these things, and then they call us the Pride of the Hong Kong. And why there's a market for our technologies, really shame that KK just mentioned technology isn't really the driving force. But lucky that he said we are the people who actually try to ride on the technologies, so we are doing that. The reason why we have the market for technology is because we see a lot of food scandals, product recalls in the past 10 years. And the reason why the people keep asking what the government is doing, what the existing testing technology is doing, what I'm telling you is the existing technology is what most of the people using what we call the chemical analysis, which is really accurate, but there's some problem and limitation with it because the traditional method only can test really limited parameters, and because of the cost, because of the time, and also they only test the targeted substance, which means that you have to know what you want to test at the first time before the test. So you can only test what you know or what you suspect in the products. And then thirdly, the really precision machine, actually they can't really tell you whether the tested substance or samples are toxic or not. What's the reason behind? First of all, there's a lot of pollutions and then a lot of unknown chemicals go into our food chains. And second is because of the creativity of our business people. You would never imagine, surely they use it in a wrong way and in a harmful way. We never know what they really put into the food, to put in the products, and then so that's why I think the traditional method really didn't work. Because as I said, you have to know what exactly you want to test, then you test it. But for our method, actually, we use living organisms, but we use a method called the fish embryos. And our company actually also known as a fish company. Yeah, by the way. We understand that there's so many different chemicals available in the market using, and actually the non-problematic chemicals only tip of the iceberg. So what's our vision of our company? Is to actually try to help our clients to manufacture safer products and eventually a better world. What we try to do is actually to offer the affordable non-animal method. Actually is really important because nowadays a lot of people they try to say, oh, it's too cruel to kill the animals for the testing. And what we try to offer, what we call the fish embryos, which is classified as an alternative method. So that's why I think for the DNA of our company, we don't really have any Hong Kong clients. All our clients, opposite to what Jason's trying to do, expand globally, we start with the global business, And many people will ask us, are we trying to replace the traditional chemical method? No, we're not trying to do it. We just try to complement each other by offering our unique technologies. And I'm not trying to go into details, but we have two models with it. Our company is best known for the lighting fish or fluorescent fish. And the second one is we use a zebrafish embryo. And why we use this kind of fish, actually the people keep asking us these questions. Because the fish species we use are really similar to human beings, especially with their embryonic stage. It's actually over 70%, and especially to the genes associated with the human disease. And the beauty of our fish is that by using our fish, we could actually effectively screen over 1,000 toxins at a time, instead of just really limited, really precise chemical analysis with what we have been using. So there's few things that we can see whether the samples is harmful or not, whether by seeing the fish if they light up in their livers, or we are actually doing a cooking oil project, which is really, really big. Everyone understands that by the way, we already ate too much of these kind of stuff. And we're doing it by really simple, easy endpoints by, okay, for the left-hand side is the good oils. The fish embryo actually, you can see is really healthy, but if we put the bad oil into it, the things actually, you can really see with your naked eyes, a lot of different developmental abnormalities and tumors and even die right away. But I'm telling you that even we put that kind of oil into the traditional chemical method, they all pass the regulatory requirement. But if you put in the fish embryo, they will just malformation. This is something that I think that most of the people will be interested in. I keep asking me fortune teller, which brand we should use, which brand we shouldn't use, I'm telling you, actually, I'm quite sure that all the brands that you use at home from $8 per can to $8,000 per can, they're all our clients. And then I'm telling you one kind of scary things. I remember these figures, about 14,000, the readings. This is a 1 ml of BB cream or CC cream. And actually, it's even worse than 1 contraceptive pill. I'm telling you, they're legal to sell. They're legal to sell, and they're a big brand. Usually, people ask me what kind of products they should avoid. I would really tell them, be careful with the sunscreen and BB cream or CC cream stuff. It's not what I said, I try to scare you, but actually it's really well proven in the environment, nothing to argue about. But the worst thing is that what we see from those problems we helping our client to deal with, we see a lot of problems associated with these things. Actually, it's become one of the big, one of the top 3 human disasters. After the ozone depletion, after the global warming, now this is the 3rd one. And a lot of people actually suffering with these kind of things. For example, breast cancer. We see that whether in a developed country or developing countries, we see a lot of these kind of people are going up, and then they become younger and younger. I have friends just early 30s, they have breast cancers. And then they actually, these kind of people, they're really sensitive to the chemicals we test, and also the reproductive issues. In the past 50 years, 50%, our quality and quantity of the sperm dropped 50%, 1% a year. More and more people are now suffering these kind of reproductive issues. Now 1 in 7 couples, compared to 20 years ago, only 1 in 25, and have a higher chance of having a baby girl. Nothing wrong with the baby girl, okay? But I see a majority here are ladies. And to wrap up, I just want to say that our technologies try to revolutionize the whole safety standard by putting our fish embryos into the pictures. It's actually a paradigm shift. And we try to increase the number of parameters they test from very limited 20 to over 1,000 at a time. So this is something that I always encourage people to ask. And also I always try to hint my clients and people, because we have to ask why the fish light up, and then also keep asking questions. That's all my sharing. Thank you. Remember this.
Thanks for the sponsor.
Right, sure. Do you have any questions for the session just now? Very inspirational and about the novel. Yeah.
Oh, we will give it later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, after.
Sure. So we will have our first speaker coming up, and a little introduction of him is he is Mr. Nelson Yip, the founder and chairman of the Unleash Foundation. So Nelson is actually the founder and director of his privately owned companies, which focus into the industry of professional energy, power saving and LED lighting, electronic commerce, as well as business strategy consultancy. In 2008, Nelson founded the Unleash Foundation, and the purpose of the foundation was meant by enabling the contribution of all people and create social impact through face-to-face educational talk, seminars, as well as some community projects and also campaigns. So what is more, like what we really need to give applause on is that actually Nelson was the first qualified rider who represent Hong Kong in the Paralympics equestrian competition in 2008, for which he was awarded the Medal of Honor from the government of the HKSAR. So let's give an applause to Nelson about it. Thank you.
I'm so excited to give a chance to share what I've gone through in the past 20 years. I think I'm a little bit different because our topic is about social innovation. And I'm just look around. I'm just found a bit different from all of you. I work with walking stick, 2 creatures. So all my life, okay, it's starting from very infant. I try to think, okay, why I have to walk with 2 walking sticks, and what I have to do, okay, to do a little bit to change the world, the society. So that's all like the DNA, the part of my life. Back to just after graduation, I worked with the University of Chinese University, working in the Faculty of Medicine, doing the epidemiological research, 流行病理學. By that time, no one, just very little people, not a lot of people, know about what is epidemiological research. But after 2003, people know about SARS. Okay, they know what is public health and what is epidemiological research. And after leaving the Prince of Wales Hospital, I went to University of Hong Kong doing executive, and after that, I worked for an NGO called the Hong Kong Rehabilitation Power. So the history of this train, okay, for I think, particularly in front of 2 very successful entrepreneurs doing innovation, biotechnology, and also technology. I do embrace technology. I like technology. I think technology is actually one part, very important part of driving the change of the whole community. When I talk about the innovation, I'll try to ignore the word, innovation. I try to think about the society. What's important, why we have to have some changes, so I try to use my PowerPoint to illustrate a bit, It's very, very simple concept. If you want to do a business like or social enterprise or whatsoever, as a matter of fact, there's a gap, The access is about the company, what we want to do. But actually, we are drive not our asset, but this wanted and the need from the society. That's different. There's always a gap, and the gap is always huge. That I learned from the MBA program from Professor Andrew Chan. So how do you try to narrow the gap between what the company can offer and also the company, not the company, the market demand? How do we know? We could do survey. We could do a lot of quantitative analysis and a lot of that try to understand the market better. We do a lot of things, but actually the world is changing. We have heard a lot about the B2B, B2C, and also C2C, and the end C2B. So that's all terminology. But at the end, after we know more about the changes on technology, on e-commerce, and also technology drive, we know in the past day we can make it happen, the C2B. But now we heard a lot about crowdfunding, crowdsourcing. There's a lot of that terminology. Because of technology, we can make it happen. So the common ground, I think all of us have more than one account on Facebook, on WeChat, on a lot of social media. When we try to put the photo on the social media, we try to, okay, communicate something good, okay. We're not going to post some photo. We are not doing good, right? So there's a common ground. I believe that. The common ground is that all of us, okay, including the enterprise, would like to communicating something good we have been doing in the past, today, and also in the future, right? So that's the beginning. So I'd like to talk about the leverage point. Okay, so apart from that, what I'm talking about in the previous, so what are the leverage point the company actually using social innovation to advance the performance? I think it's about business model. I think business model is very important, and also the need and the drive. Okay, we have to look at the actual needs of the people to change perspective. Okay, to examine things in different angle. Okay, so that's very, from a different point of view to look at the same thing. That's already very innovative, but you have to be very, very observative. Okay, that is the point. Back to a few years ago, 2009, people, I like sport, apart from equestrian. Okay, I like sport. And by the time I'm trying to, okay, what sort of sport? Equestrian is too complicated, okay. Too complicated, because if you know, okay, how I do the mounting, and I do the mounting, and I do prepare the horse, and after the horses, I have to do the washing, and all sorts of things. That's too complicated. But one thing, I think there's something we can do, okay, what I call it inclusive sport. People can play, including people with different needs. Okay, the family, you sit on the wheelchair, you walk with crutches, and you can do the sport. Okay, then I try to think of something very, not very, a bit challenging. I try, okay, triathlon. Okay, so triathlon is something, okay, swimming, you do cycling, while you have to run at the same time, very challenging. That means physically, very demanding on the physical energy, while you have to be good on 3 sports, swimming, running, while at the same time, the cycling. So this is quite brand new. Okay, back to 2009, and what I try to do is, okay, how to make it more inclusive. Okay, I try to put into 3 parts, okay. The first part is very in sport. The second part is, okay, family welcome. And the last part actually is inclusive. So there was a big day, because there was a very interactive event. At that time, I think there was only one, the first one, inclusive triathlon. We have more than 1,000 people who were there, and after the event, we have a carnival. So just little picture sharing. At the end of the day, people think that very amazing. Okay, people without arm, without leg, they can do the sport at the same event. And very embracingly, okay, we have a lot of good reputation after that. Okay, comedy, and also the participant think that, okay, that's worth going. And the last one actually is, if you go for, why I say that we embrace technology. The website was established just 3 months before the event, and we have accumulated fans more than 20,000. Okay, 3 months. I think that's very good with participating rate, and the page view around, okay, more than 20,000. I think that's good, okay, given that 3 months of preparation. So I like technology, okay, and the social innovation. Okay, that's it, the second part. Okay, what's the leverage point? The leverage point actually is, okay, I think apart from the business model, I think we can communicating something good. Sorry about that. Good. And when we try to do things good, we can communicate well, because we know that people like sharing, and that sharing can help us to spread the message. That is the leverage point. Okay, The last one, okay. I'd like to use this slide to do a sharing, okay. How you see a life shape your life, okay. That's almost impossible to see a person sitting on a wheelchair and the shadow actually is standing tall with a, very healthy. But if you know the word see, okay, you use the eye to see things, okay, and you understand, you try to understand thing. So I see, okay. But the see, the word bear the same, another meaning. Visualize, okay. That even though this is not true in reality, but you try to visualize something, okay, not here, but in the future. That means you can do something in the, not now, but in the future. So people know me like sport, playing a Christian. So I spent almost 8 years, okay, from 2001. At that time, I was working for Hong Kong Rehabilitation. And I think, what sort of thing I can do, for people with challenge. And I thought of, okay, why not go for something very different, almost unreasonable, almost, okay. By that time, people think that, okay, Christian is quite risky, almost easy to get hurt, and that sport is quite unusual, okay. But I try things, and I go for different competition and also challenge over the world. So at the end, okay, I get the pass and then have a chance to go for Olympic in 2008. That was important because it proved a little things. That is almost anything and everything is possible. So that's, and after that, I take 3 works after the game, okay, the transcendence, integration, and I try to make it in a part of the one of the ideology in Unleashed Foundation. So why I think I like these 3 works, because if you know people riding without 2 lower limbs, riding without upper limbs, and you can think that, okay, almost everything is possible. So that's the background of the Unleashed Foundation, so I don't want to talk too much about that. So one of the innovative things I try to do is, I think people is very important. People. I believe in technology. At the same time, I believe human. Well, so I put more effort in the past 2 years, 3 years. I try to nurturing and also grooming a group of young people. They're good, they're intelligent, and so I work with Alibaba to try to, to invite Hong Kong students to have a chance, okay, to work in Alibaba for 1 month, okay, what we call it 全球夢想家計劃. Okay, that's one of the very good program, because if you know the program, only 10,000 young people, okay, the selection is quite tough. Only 30 people can be selected from 10,000. That's quite tough. So we have a favorite, okay. We just have, okay, have candidate around 400, and then we can select 30 people to have a chance to go for that global program. So there's some highlighting. So you don't need to go for the world and have that chance, but you can just go to the website and get the enrollment. I think that's already good enough. So the deadline will be 2 days later, okay? Wow. So get the chance, okay? Scrap that chance, okay? So that's what I want to share. Okay, the last part, okay, what is the leverage point? I think the point is, I believe in humanity. I believe in people. I believe in different talent and different ability. That's what I want to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you so much. And after hearing 3 of our speakers of their sharing, and now we'll go to the very important and interactive panel section. So now, may I please invite the 3 speakers, Jason, Jimmy, and Nelson. And I would also like to briefly introduce our moderator, Mr. Clive Lee. Mr. Clive Lee is the Chief Operating Officer of Chen Yidan Foundation. And Clive, maybe many of us here actually know Clive personally. And he's a one-the-world trainer, actually, with lots of experience in social entrepreneurship, corporate social responsibility, and also NGO, non-profit making. And also, Clive actually win lots of awards, including the Hong Kong Young Service Award presented by our CE of the HKSL government, and also many significant award presented by local and also international universities and also organizations. So I will pass the panel section to Clive. And Clive, thank you.
Okay, so because we have a private donor for the question, so I will just open this session to the floor about what you guys can learn actually from three really different, I would say, pioneers in Hong Kong. And from the sharing, I guess all of us actually learn a lot from their success as well as failures. And I would like to open the floor now, and if you would like to ask a question, please raise up your hand. Okay, Angela first. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Angela. If you can hear me. I'm Angela. I was Dragon 2006. And so, question. So Dr. said that he believes that social entrepreneurship is the most important factor. Do you agree? Or what's the, if you don't agree, then what is the most important force that you think will be driving a better society?
Anyone? Is that qualified for that $100?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys pick the best five.
Okay. Because that's a repeat question. That's not an original question.
Yeah. Perhaps I can comment?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure whether I can answer that question. The mic is not working. Yeah. I can just shout, I suppose. Hello?
Now it's working.
Now it's working. Okay. I think there's a dream in that statement. The dream, hopefully, is within 10, 20, a finite period of years that we don't talk about social innovation anymore. It is in every business. It's not something separate. So it could be the most important now. It shouldn't be in the future. It should be part of everything. Yeah.
Maybe I'll comment a bit as well. I think for me, when I joined the business, I didn't even know what's the definition of like social entrepreneur, frankly. For me, I just feel like, okay, there's a need in the society, there's a global issues, and see how my ideas or through technologies can really do a bit or do something to deal with it. So for me, I think it's quite natural to just do something, but just not try to limit the definition of what is social entrepreneur.
Yeah. I think we need to go back to the definition of what is social entrepreneur. They're the same things. Okay. Yeah. I think by definition, no company actually is not social related. I mean, all companies are social related. Okay. Yeah. So I think if you put the definition is very narrow, okay, that will be okay. Just enterprise with strictly social mission, to solve a social problem. So that would depends on the situation by that time. So I think different point of time, the society facing different kind of problem. So so it's hard to tell the definition strictly.
And just do it. So our second question, yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Mei Mei. Thanks for the sharing, it's very inspiring. I have a question for Jimmy, but it's not about the prize.
Okay, she don't want that prize, okay.
I want to know, I want that Jimmy start your business based on your mission, because it's very big mission. Or you just found it during your research or the progress. I want to know which comes first to you.
Actually, I will share a bit. I wasn't one of the founders. Actually, Jason know my company right before I knew my company.
Okay, just declaring interest on the sidetrack. Yeah. The company was born from a group of students who entered into HSBC business challenge. I was one of the judges, but I wasn't favoring them.
Oh.
I was just doing my job, and they won.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a difference.
Actually, Clive here, he is the matchmakers. How I get to know the founders of that company was actually we went to an event called Global Clinton Initiative. It's organized by the Bill Clinton, and then we have a lunch with Bill Clinton, and then actually Clive asked fantastic questions, really impressed Bill Clinton, and they remember us. And during the sessions, among 30 of us, we have a session. We have like a few minutes to present our own ideas. And after the sessions, we have like a rating for like 30 ideas. Actually, this ideas ranked number 1, and then my ideas ranked number 2. and then I was a bit kind of shocked because like my idea was already really successful. We already like part of the M&A and then become a listed company. And like how a student with ideas could warn like can beat me up, and then but the second thought was like when I heard the ideas, I thought it's excellent, That company even wasn't exist. That was just an idea, just won a lot of awards. And then I boldly enough to approach to the founders of a company called Eric. A lot of people here also know him. And then I talked to Eric saying like maybe I can invest a bit into the company. And then you know what he said? He said no. He said no to me, And then I say like I try to think, no. I find this idea is brilliant. Not only do good but do well. How could I be on board? And then I asked him like, could I be a volunteer? I guess no one would say no to me, right? That's how I joined the company. But because I see this idea is great. For me, I think it's really part of my DNA because in my family, we never have like a bak mai to eat. I always eat the bird feet, the jiakso. Why? Because I always eat these different kinds of colors of grains, rice. But my mom and my family is really health conscious, So whatever they take, they just take the best. So for me, I think it's quite natural for me to see such a great ideas and then see the problems and then how could I really be part of it. So I think this is something that I did. And then I think the most interesting part would be I didn't really get any salaries from the company for like I think almost a year before I really officially on board. But the reason why I was invited to be on board and become the CEO of the company was because the company actually ran out of money. That's something that no one will share with you, but it's very interesting that I could talk for an hour.
So the best way to handle the enemy is enter them, right?
You have been there, you just join
them. Any other questions? No, Dennis. Okay.
Good evening. Nice to meet you all, and really appreciate your sharing. We had a lot of discussion on the technology things, whether it is the most important factor or one of the very important factor. And I would like to put that discussion into the context in Hong Kong, or to take a more macro approach to look into the matter. There are lots of discussion on like technology development in Hong Kong. Do you think that right now we have a favorable environment to nurture social innovation in technology? And if not, what are the hindrances? Thank you.
Perhaps Jason is the best person to answer, right? Sure. Sorry, when you say nurture social innovation in technology?
In technology.
Okay, so basically just technology in general. Okay. I think any time is a good time. I think our fate and our future is shaped by us.
I think I want to know more about your view on this, like macro environment or infrastructure. Do we have enough like favorable environment to nurture this kind of technology?
I think entrepreneurs are in the mode of creation. And right now, if you ask me, there's a shortage of talents, but there is no shortage of will. There's a shortage of successful startups and exits and good companies, but there is no shortage of angel capital. So I think the ecosystem is gathering momentum. I think there are enough stakeholders around with a strong will and great heart in the right place to nurture and to bring it up. But it all depends on talents, entrepreneurs, investors to actually make a few cases and from there grow the snowball. Silicon Valley wasn't built in one day, and Hong Kong will not be exactly following that footprint. If you look at Korea is turning sideways. Everybody, the young people actually don't jump into startup anymore. Everybody wants to work for Samsung.
And Singapore is guided and driven institutionally, right? So good or bad, I haven't seen any good startup yet. Don't know if it's good or bad or it's all coming. I don't know. Israel have a very unique set of factors, and the culture really drive it very differently. You know, it's really innovative. So Hong Kong is going to walk its own way, and I think Hong Kong has a few unleashed or potential latent opportunities, in my view. We're always good at, you know, melting the West and the East. A lot of Caucasians, a lot of opportunists, a lot of overseas visitors come to Hong Kong from Israel, from US, from even Korea. And the key is, how do we keep them? How do we not let our own people and miss the great opportunities and they all go to China, right? And I think we've seen a lot of good articles recently talking about, you know, whether that be, you know, Wang To or whoever, actually choose by choice, move to Shenzhen. Some people blame it on fundraising availability and move to Silicon Valley, right? So how do we seize that and take the ownership ourselves to make it happen? I think it's in our hands. It is not something that is built and given to us. But I do see a lot of, you know, good signs. You know, there's a great fish company. Yeah, a lot of these, you know, it'll be very sad that we all sit and wait to be spoon-fed. Right? The other opportunities is the Internet Plus. You know, there's a policy from China that, you know, the Internet era is here, but the next wave is going to be Internet Plus. So the BAT of the world is kind of, okay, well, they're big, they're dominant, but there will be a next wave of many great companies that marry the industrialists, the industry, with the internet. And I see a lot of opportunities there, you know, combining technology with traditional industry. And guess what? From the 50s to the 70s, Hong Kong, first wave of entrepreneurship came from the industrialists. And they're still around, albeit their Chong, you know, their factories are now in China. The second and the third generations are very innovative. They are thinking about 升級轉型. They are investing, except that they're investing in Silicon Valleys. They are bringing technologies from Germany, going to Israel, looking at Korea. Why can't they invest in Hong Kong? Right? So there are mismatch and opportunities here and there, latencies here and there. We just have to, you know, seize it with our own hand and make it happen. You know, I hope that, you know, all three of us, four of us could be, you know, in the forefront of driving this, and have you all join us. We'll just have to make it happen ourselves.
Maybe add a few words from my perspective. For the biotechnologies or in life science in general, I would say Hong Kong's never lack of talents. But those we have like all kind of like scientists from top-notch universities, but it's just a matter of they're not working in the science. They work in the investment banks, work in the consultancy, right? Maybe probably some of you guys here. And Hong Kong as a financial center, we know there is never lack of money, right? And I think the limit would be really about the mindset of the people here as well. Like you see, the three of us here, all of our business or all our successful cases, not primarily only in Hong Kong. You have to have like a vision that you are ready to build a team, or your idea is going to not just going to sell in Hong Kong, but internationally. You know, this is so important. And especially like I just went to China very often, and then like last week I was told that there's a new vision about China manufacturing called 2025. Exactly. This is something that is a great opportunity. Is what I see is to really push the Chinese enterprise into the world, to build up the brand, to build up their influence. I see Hong Kong people, you know, as Jason said, Hong Kong used to be the East meets West, you know, and then we have so much experience doing that kind of stuff, and then why we can't do something with it? And then now, you know, I teach in the university, I see so many international students coming in, and then I really see there's a great pool of talents could really work together. For this generation, I would never really see something that compared to the previous generation. We could really empower, really connected to all over the world and do something internationally. So I think don't limit yourself just thinking, okay, what's the technology like an ecosystem in Hong Kong or in China? You just do it globally. You know, this is so important.
I would like to share a story. Okay, just 2 months ago, okay, I visited a startup. Okay, not in China, not in Hong Kong, but in China. Yansu, Gamsu. Okay, it's very poor, and also lack of material. 4 team members, one from Tianjin, one from Gansu, and other one from Shanghai. Okay, one from Chengdu, Chengdu. Okay, 4 people from different parts of their life, okay, joined together. And we spent 4 days, 3 days actually, 3 days together. Spent 2 days going through the business model and also the opportunity. And the last day, I come back to Hong Kong, and I give them, okay, some connection at Hangzhou, okay, Ali, and also some incubated working space, something like that, okay. And you can't believe that, okay, just after 3 days, at the end of the 3 days, the 4 guys, okay, they travel together, okay, make a trip to Hangzhou. You can, okay, if you think yourself, okay, in that situation, in that, you can imagine they make that decision that fast and make a determination, okay, they're going to form a company and start the business in 3 days. So that's what we need, okay, the perception, okay. The perception is something, they think everything is possible. They embracing internet plus, the whole idea, because they just almost, I think, all the the classmates and all the friends they come across, they all have some idea and try to make it happen. In Hong Kong, okay, I do a lot of mentorship, okay, the MBA program and also undergrad program. Most of our students still think, okay, after graduation, they want to, go to the big company. That's the difference. So I think we are on the way, and also because the ecology is, I think we are already on that path. Because of the policy, because of the capital, because of the idea. So I think we are not that far away. We can still do a lot of good things for Hong Kong.
Thanks, Nelson. So because of the time constraint, so I would like to invite each speaker to say a few words to the young leaders here to conclude the session.
Oh, okay, didn't expect this. Well, life is short. There's no reason not to follow your heart. Just seize the day. Yeah.
I would say just keep asking questions. Like Professor Wu's last pictures actually really caught my attention. Beyond what he just said, I saw people just raise their hands. Just keep asking questions. Just no stupid questions, just only stupid answers. Just keep asking.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we always mention our think, do, get, right? We think, but we always put too much energy and time on just thinking. We do need to, put more time and energy on just doing, and then review what we have got, and then try to, evaluate after what we have done. Okay, that's it. A bit different on the methodology and also the topology. So that's something I would like to share. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all the speakers. Thanks a lot. Yeah, please take a seat. And I think those who ask questions, we will have the prize later. Come, see me. And indeed, what Jimmy just mentioned, we should really have the global vision. And now there's an opportunity. Why? Because the Dragon Foundation is actually recruiting delegates for the Dragon 100 this year in August. And that deadline is today. So if you go to the website, thedragonfoundation.net, you can see more information. And and there's application form out there. If you are really interested in that, you can just talk with anyone in black t-shirts with DragoNation, okay? Excuse me. Okay.
Hi, Clive. I didn't get a chance to ask a question, but I want to, actually my question is for you. Many of us know you very well, and I think you have a very special position to talk about a little bit more about social innovation, because I have known Clive for like more than 10 years, 15 years or something. Am I that old? Anyway, and he started as an engineer, working in the same company as I do. And then now he's working for, maybe not everybody knows that Chen Yidan Foundation. Chen Yidan is one of the founders of Tencent, one of the 5 founders of Tencent. And this is the, I think like 100 million or several hundreds of million of base for his foundation. He's gonna push it out to the whole world. Can you tell us a little bit more how you would, how have you changed from an engineer and your vision for your future and become an outstanding social innovator? I think I can call you that. He influenced us a lot, right? Yeah.
I didn't expect that too. So actually, some of people here already knew me. I was the founder of the DragoNation. I was also a delegate of the Dragon 100 2005. And through that experience really inspired me, because I met young leaders, young Chinese leaders from all over the world. They're doing, I would say, crazy things. You know, they're doing like international volunteer work around. They're founding different organizations. They're making things happen, even sometimes out of their comfort zone. And because of this, in 2008, I make a choice to go to Sichuan for the earthquake, disaster relief work. And that experience really changed me. I learned about the concept of social entrepreneurship. And I think, on one hand, you are helping people, but on the other hand, it's not for my mind. On the other hand, I'm actually making profit to sustain the business. And I think the most important thing is you are inspiring more people to not just seeing problem as problem, but seeing them as opportunities. And you are inspiring more people, those who were once underprivileged, they see as beneficiaries. Just tell you one small story. I was actually raised up, I was seen as an autistic child. You can't imagine. And I was actually raised by my aunt who is disabled. And I never see this ability of her. I saw ability, empowerment. She changed my whole life. And now I'm changing other people's life. And actually I learned a lot from Nelson. I would say, especially from the Alibaba, campaign. Yeah, I think Tencent should earn it. Yeah, so I would like to use my whole life to actually helping people who once, was seen as, underprivileged, give them hope. And I totally agree with each of the speakers. We're actually shaping the future. How do you want the world will be? Let us shape together. And welcome to Dragon 100 one day. Thanks.
Thank you, Clive. And yeah, we have more information coming about the coming Dragon 100 application this year after the panel section 2. So we will now have our second panel section, and different from the first one, the topic of the coming panel section discussion will be managing user experience and service innovation. And also, we will have 3 speakers, who is Dr. Edwin Lee, Mr. Charles Law, and Mr. KK Wong, and also moderated by Mr. Lawrence Lui. So now may we first introduce the first speaker of the second
Yeah, sure. So the first speaker will be Dr. Edwin Lee. And Dr. Edwin Lee is actually the founder of the Bridgeways Prime Shop Fund Management Limited. And it is also the first Securities and Future Commission licensed fund management that focus exclusively on shop properties investment in Hong Kong and also major cities worldwide. And what is more important is that Edwin is actually one of the awardees of the 2011 10 Outstanding Young Persons selection organized by the Junior Chamber International. So let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. Lee on stage, please.
I have no PowerPoint. I have no PowerPoint because all my power would go
Do
to
you
the
need a mic?
PowerPoint. All my power would go to the PowerPoint. If I speak, then I have no more power left. Even though I'm the director of Cyberport, I'm like the most non-E, so I'll be using a whiteboard. Speaking of social innovation, makes me think of the following actually. When I was hearing all the speeches about social innovation, blah blah blah, how it serves the society, it makes me think of, you know what? Before all the human being was around, who used to be the king of all animals? You know, king of all animals, 萬獸之王啊！ Millions and millions years ago, actually, it used to be a dragon. Dragon used to be the king of all animals. Not sure if they existed or not, but anyway, they were the king, okay? And then one day they became too tired and decided to retire. You know, they retired because I've been millions of years, been a king of all animals for so long, and I want to retire. And then out of all these like animals and hundreds of them, and try to pick one that's the best and become the king of all animals, right? Then decided, you know, who is the best? And then out of the 100, out of tens of them, and then they decided, you know, down to the list of 3. And you 3 are equally good, and pick up a lion, a wolf, and a tiger. And then ask them, so all 3 of you are so good, so we're going to have a celebration tonight, and all 3 of you are equally good. You're all going to be the king of animals forever, or all 3 of you rule the kingdom. We're going to have a dinner celebration, and then I see what sort of food you want to eat. Ask the wolf. Wolf, because, you know, Hong Kong wolf have a special meaning. Be careful, okay? Be careful, okay? And anyway, it's... wolf, ask the wolf. Wolf, what do you want to eat? I want to eat turkey. Turkey. Then, you know, let's feed the turkey. You know, then I don't get hungry for the next couple of days. And then ask the tiger. So tiger, what do you want to eat? Then the tiger says, oh, if wolf is having a turkey, I want to eat a buffalo. Buffalo. If I eat the whole buffalo, then I don't get hungry for the next 2 weeks or 2 months. And then ask the lion, what do you want to eat?
Wolf, tiger.
And what did the lion say? Something about social innovation.
I want social innovation.
What did the lion say? And then what did the lion, so lion, what do you want to eat? The lion said, I want, for those who have not heard this story from me, I want to eat vegetables, lettuce, cabbage. Oh, why? Then the dragon asked, you know what? I want to eat vegetables because to be the king of all animals, how can we be eating our peers? We need to take social responsibility. Then the dragon said, oh, very good, very good. This is a true leader. And then the dragon hopped onto the tiger and moved and ate them both. And since that point on, lion became the king of animals. It's a true story. That's made up by me, okay? But anyway, what's the moral of the story? About social innovation, about service user experience. About being what? A DragoNation or whatever incubatees or participants. This dragon, what's the moral of the story? Huh? To help others, right? Because after all, you know, if you are able to put others' interests ahead of yours, for some reason, in the longer run, you will become the king. Once you become the king, you can eat anything, okay? But then most important is make sure that you get the king position first by giving up your own interests and serve others first. Then you become the king of all animals. Just like, for example, right, I'm sure in today's world as well, most of the billions and billions and billions dollars of companies, those explosive companies, usually what they're very popular with is a freemium model, right? Freemium model, meaning you don't charge them anything. You download first, let them use, experience it. You don't eat them first.
But then wait till they are adapted to your app, been using your app for so many days, then you start to slowly and bite them and eat it and try to generate revenue from them. That's similar. It's today's, isn't it? Now, let me pass the mic to Jason and see how your business model works, right? Because I think, right, just like Jason, this iButterfly and this Kiwi or whatever apps that you have, it's all free downloads, but then you want to eat the customer slowly afterwards, all right? That's why Jason is the king, and that's why Jason is getting all the awards that he deserves to get, right? So I think it's anyway, it's the moral of the story actually, it's, if you serve out this well, you'll be well. Today, right, I'll be talking about two professors. I think it's only a few minutes left. I'll be sharing, nowadays I go to Harvard Business School a lot. I take like all these courses and what I learned. I'll be sharing with you this professor. Is called Professor Deepak Malhotra. Deepak Malhotra, just search under him, Deepak Malhotra. And I'll be telling you another, what I learned from Clayton Christensen. Clayton Christensen. These are two very well, Clayton Christensen. These are two very well-renowned professors. And I actually, as of later tonight at 12 midnight, I changed my airport tickets purely because for attending this event. Otherwise, I would have flown to Boston ready to attend his class on innovative solution to how to have breakthrough thinking about, doing your business. And anyway, I'm here, so I'm sort of late for the class, but anyway, it's okay. But what I learned from him is something about what our topic is. What again? Sorry, where's Cindy? Cindy, what's the topic today? The topic of my part is user experience. Service excellence. Let's think about how to get user experience. A perfect hotel experience. For 6-star hotel, according to Deepak Malhotra, what he taught me is, for 6-star hotel, 6-star service, 6-star architecture, 6-star renovation, 6-star everything. When the customers check out on average 1 out of 10 scores, what do usually the customers rate? Everything 6 stars. When they leave, they rate usually they rate maybe around 9. Around 9. You don't get 10 usually for some reason. Just 1 out of 10, you get 9. Now my question to you is, without incurring a lot of costs, being innovative enough, how do you get the score from 9 to 10 to enhance the user experience and have the service excellence? 9 to 10. How? Try to customize something, then you may be incurring your cost. Innovation or whatever that is, whatever that means. Huh? Some surprise. I don't know, whatever that surprise is. Or maybe it's good that you have all these like Rolls Royces waiting at the entrance of the hotel to enhance the experience. You have great renovation, a huge concert. You have like Lady Gaga being the receptionist to receive the guests. But then you are increasing the cost, right? Then what's the most innovative way actually? You know what? To get the most perfect user experience to the 10, the most effective way, what he researched, they found out is what? Your guess is. They found out, you know what? This is funny. It's even if you give all the 6 stars experience, when people check out, they still give you 9. But then you know what? How to increase the user experience from 9 to 10, or maybe at least from 9 to 9.5, because people, they're just so a-hole, right? They never give you 10. They demand so much. And then what they found out, you know what? Is not by having this 6-star experience, but rather is when you first check in, you see there's a line of like 4 or 5 people, and all of a sudden, a counter helper is going to help you, a receptionist is going to help you to check in. Then you don't have to wait for a line anymore. When you get into the hotel, you take a shower, you find out that the water is not hot enough, then you give the service desk a call, and then within a few minutes, then the hot water is much hotter. When you sleep at night, the pillow is not hard enough, you find that it's too soft, you give the room service a call, and then they deliver a hard pillow for you. And then when you check out, you have to wait in line in service for taxi, and then all of a sudden, a Rolls Royce would roll them behind and take you to the airport. For some reason, if you do that, when people is disappointed at some point and able to adjust the problem, fix the problem immediately, for some reason, even though you have all these Rolls Royces hiding around, just parking around in a car park, you have all these like hard pillow putting around somewhere, you don't give them first. You make them disappointed at some point and try to fix the experience, and then you can enhance the experience. And usually in that case, the customer experience, they rate from 9 to 9.5. make it sweeter. 犯賤啦，係咪？Sweeter, I know. It's like, you know, it's 人就係咁。It's like seeing sweeter. It's like seeing your girlfriend. She takes off everything. You don't like her. You're like piece by piece. It's much better. And then if you put the piece back, then it's more attractive. So you don't show everything at once. Piece by piece, and then sometimes you put a piece back, and then, you know, the boyfriend, you love you more. And then that's how to enhance user experience without incurring much cost. Do you agree, Cindy? Now you know how to treat your boyfriend, okay? Or your husband, or whoever you have, okay? So that's what I learned. And also, you know what, for service experience, what I learned from Deepak Malhotra also, you know what, is a true survey. They did it's an automobile association. They did a survey of 3,000. It's called, it's not automobile. To be the exact name, is a National Real Estate Contractor Association. National Real Estate Contractor Association in the US. There are 3,000 members. And out of the 3,000 members, and try to do a survey, ask them to fill out a 10-minute survey. A 10-minute survey sent to 3,000 members. Remember, these are real estate contractors. And then ask them to fill out a 10-minute survey. What's the response rate? It's a true Harvard study. If you look at his book called Negotiation Genius, Negotiation Genius, under Deepak Malhotra, you'll find this case study. It's an actual study done by him, and found out that out of the 3,000 people in the association responded is 20%. So 20% fill out the survey, and then 80% just throw the survey away. It's a waste of time. So how do you increase the response rate? How? And of course, coupons. Then you put out this $50 cash coupons and say that if you respond to this survey, I give you $50 cash coupon to redeem against something in the future. And the result is what? Increase to 23% response rate. From 20% to 23% response rate. It's a true study. And then how do you increase the response rate significantly without further incurring a lot of cost? Penalty. Oh, then I'm going to resign from the association. I'm not going to come. I go to this American Association of Real Estate Contractors, not the national one then. Right? What to do? It's a true study. If you will find this case in his book called Negotiation Genius. What he found out, you know what? Rather than having all these cash coupons, because you know what, the response rate of 23% out of 3,000 people, if you think about it, 23%, 3,000 people, 600 people, you need to give them $50, then meaning you have to spend around 30,000, right? 30,000. That's the cost. How do you spend less than 30,000 and has a highest response rate? Is by including a $1 cash, American dollar cash, in the survey. For all 3,000 of them sent to them, and then for some reason they get a $1 cash. $1, and then, you know, they see this survey and $1 cash attached to it. Then what do? Do they throw away their money? No, they always pocket the money. But if you pocket the money, how do you feel? You feel guilty. You feel guilty. Then, you know, of course, there are always some cheap people out there. These are all like real estate contractors. I don't know about Jason. Probably being like this lion and this king of kingdom, he's going to pocket the $1. I'm not sure. But then, you know, after all, but maybe for Nelson, he's a nicer guy who will fill out the survey. Don't know. But then the response rate, you know, by including this $1 to 3,000 members, you spend $3,000. The response rate immediately shot up from 23% to 40%. That's a true study. So by having that, you spend only $3,000, and then you have 40% response rate. What's the moral of the story? Again, it's all about the king of animals, right? You got to put others' interests ahead of yours. Give them some benefit. For some reason, they feel guilty. This is the power of guilt. When they feel guilty, they will buy something from you. Bring the worst out of everyone.
Yeah, you bring worst. It's like you give them the app first, they download, they use it for a while, they feel guilty. Then they feel, then they go to your business. Lastly, Clayton Christensen, what he also shared with you. And you know what? It's very important to find out what your job is. What your job is. You know what? They did a study as well. You know, usually in America, people drive to work. Then they the time that they buy milkshake is when? You know when? In the morning, in the afternoon, or at night. Usually, the time that they buy milkshake.
They buy usually in the morning for some reason in America. In America, it's in the morning. When they drive to work, usually they drive like 45 minutes, an hour, maybe 2 hours to work, and then they buy milkshake. And they try to increase the sales of milkshake. And think about, how to improve the milkshake, how to make it taste better, how to make it bigger, blah, 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 and how to just try to improve the taste of the milkshake so people would buy milkshake more. Because milkshake account for probably like 20% of the sales volume or 15%, whatever that number is. And then they found that no matter how much they increase the taste of the milkshake, it has zero impact on sales, according to Clayton Christensen. And then they found out, so then how to improve without increasing costs? Without increasing costs, how to enhance the user experience and how to increase the effectiveness that people going to be buying milkshakes from you. Answer, what? If you look at his book, Innovator Solution, you will find this answer, which I'm reading. I'm taking his class actually, Breakthrough Insight, next week in Harvard, so I'm flying out tonight. And so what's the answer? Something about user experience. So you need to know what your job is. What's your job? They found out, regardless of how you improve on the taste, they found out why people buy milkshake. Then they try to do a survey interview with all the people when they exit the restaurants, they drive through, try to catch them and say, hey, Jason, and then clap, and then see, and ask them, well, why are you buying milkshake? And then the reason why do they buy milkshake? Is it for the taste? Is it for healthiness? No, it's not so healthy. No, why do they buy milkshake in the morning? It's a routine. It's why happen? They feel bored when they're driving. Half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, they got to have something to holding in their hand, right? If you're having a hamburger, having some fries, if ketchup is messy. You have something in the hand, then they feel like, if they just buy a Coca-Cola, they can suck it all the way, then finish the Coke, right? But for milkshake, they suck it slowly, because it's not like you can just, and everything is gone, right? So if they suck it slowly, and they cold, and they suck it slowly, and usually every milkshake lasts for about 20 minutes. Lasts for 20 minutes. And then they found that, the reason why they are buying a milkshake is because they are bored. They want something to suck on when they're driving. So if you know that's your job is to entertain their drivers while they are driving to work, that's your job, then how do you enhance user experience without increasing costs? Then they, what do they do? Milkshake, it's the same size, but they make the straw narrower. They make the straw narrower. And then the sales shoot up immediately because everybody can now suck for 30 minutes. Suck for 40 minutes, then they buy more. And then because it's to enhance the user experience without increasing the cost. Hopefully next week I'll be learning a lot more from Clayton Christensen about breakthrough insight, about service excellency, user experience. It's not so difficult. It's all about from all these little stories without increasing cost can enhance the experience. Hopefully I share some insight to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Really interesting and inspiring sharing, and I enjoyed it very much. So now may I also introduce the second speaker of the second panel section, who is Mr. Charles Law, CEO of the Culture Technology Limited, CTL. And yes, please, Charles. And Charles is also the founder of the HKUST MBA Alumni Toastmaster Club as well. So, your time.
Thank you everyone for being here. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to be here to speak to you. And special thanks to Sydney. Sydney is my fellow Toastmaster friends. She is also a very active member in Toastmasters, and I believe you have enjoyed the conference a lot. Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, we actually have a Toastmaster conference in Hong Kong. We host the South China, so that means Hong Kong, Macau, and South China. Toastmaster members just came to Hong Kong and had a very good conference. Okay, sorry for the wait. So I'm not as innovative as Edwin, so I really need a PowerPoint to help me talk about my company. And actually, this is Culture Technology Limited. I'm actually the second generation leader of the company, and my father founded this in 2001. He is actually an architect, and he has a lot of experience in building, constructions, as well as real estate in Hong Kong. as the year goes by, he has actually built 200 projects in Hong Kong and accumulating all his experiences in real estate. And he figured out that it's something that it's a time that he wanted to move on and try something new. So in 2001, he tried to turn his experience into something different, where he wanted to try to operate a business using his expertise in the real estate. So we actually started off with an elderly home business. An elderly home business is we actually own the property by purchasing one in Hong Kong, and we actually started from 2001 until now. It's been 14 years in the same location. So and then we also expanded into other things such as hotels and such as restaurants and things like that. We actually all own and operate all the properties. So it's an owner and operator business. So today the focus is actually on, particularly in the elderly business that we run. We also do a hotel, real estate investment, as well as restaurant business. So we are called Culture Homes. As you can see, there are two brands right here. Oops. Oh, sorry. Here you go. Okay. The green one is the elderly home business, and the red one is the retail business. Okay, but before we jump into talking about our business, I wanted to ask a couple of trivia questions about elderly, and I want to see if you can have an answer before I actually give it out to you. So think about this. What is the average age of men and women right now? So just have an answer in your head, and I'll tell you later. Secondly, what do you think is the current elderly population in Hong Kong in like lump sum? And finally, what do you think is the proportion of elderly population in Hong Kong? So from 0% to 100%, what do you think is the number? So have a guess? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me give you the answer. There you go. Okay, man is 80 and women 86. So think about it. Many of you are like 20, 30s, and you have actually a lot of time to live on. And think about improvement in the health conditions and health, technology, everything else we talk about today. I think this number is going to go up. Maybe men in 30 years, we're talking about 85 and 90 or more. So you really have to think about how you want to plan your life, especially retirement. We talk about a lot of things. It's not only about how currently. It's about, financially, how you're going to plan, for the future and things like that. Secondly, proportion right now in Hong Kong, 65 or above is 1 million. In 30 years, that number is going to be almost triple to 3 million. And more stunningly, now we have 1 out of 7 people are elderly. And in 30 years, it's only 1 out of 3 people. So think about many of you here. You are 25, 30. In 30 years, you become 50 and 60s. And about that time, 1 out of 3 of the people around you will be almost, the same age of you. So it's a lot of people who are going to be in that, population scale. So it's actually quite an interesting thing. Many of you may not be aware of it and may not really care about it, but this is a reality, and this is what's going to happen in Hong Kong. And this is not just Hong Kong, it's about the world. So this is the aging world. So because of, many of the things going on, we are actually having a very, longevity. Okay. So let me talk about a couple core values about my company. Quality of life stands out at the top because I think it's most important. You want a customer to have a quality of life. But almost everyone really think about quality of life is based on technology, how people prolong their life and things like that, being physically healthy. But that's really not enough because after all, the word dignity actually is the core value, but it really stems from how we want people to be mentally healthy as well. Because after all, if people just live, physically healthy without a happy life, it's actually worse than, dying because there is no point of living when you are suffering in life. So our company really strives for making people mentally and physically happy. And I think that's based on service and product quality. So that's basically the 5 core values. Okay. So the mission vision I won't go through, but basically it encompasses what I just talked about. So this is basically a company we established in 2001, and we have 2 nursery homes right now in Hong Kong, and 1 in Hong Kong and 1 in Sai Pun. And in the future, we are actually planning to build a new project in Twin Moon. And this is a project, it's a standalone property that it used to be a farmland, and we have negotiated with the government, and right now we're actually building it become a standalone elderly home building. This is very similar to the model that right now that Hawkins Society is working on. It's called continuum of care. So we're actually targeting people who are relatively healthy when they are right after they retire, about 65 or above. As you may know, most of the elderly in Hong Kong right now, when they get into elderly homes, they are relatively more reluctant because those are the people who are maybe they are they have health problems, or they are already dependent on others. So that's why they get in the elderly home. But for a project like this, we really want to admit people who are actually having the concept of active aging. They are still very active in the society. They have a lot of things that they want to do, and we want to have a project like that we can encompass all of these good spirits, and then they can be here and enjoy themselves. But as time goes on, when they become less healthy, and we also have the continuum of care. So we also have the traditional elderly home in this project. So people, our vision is really to have our clients to be able to stay from, and they started to be relatively healthy, to relatively unhealthy, and eventually they can just prolong their life in our project. So this is basically our vision. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to skip this due to time. Because today we are talking about user experience and service innovation. I want to mention about this system that we have actually deployed in our company. Although this is not a system invented by us, but I think it's very worth mentioning because I think it's very innovative and it helps a lot of people, especially elderly. This is called an electronic medicine distribution system. It's actually invented by this Chinese university professor. What he advocated is that because there are actually a lot of problems that went up for elderly homes where professionals may not do a good job in terms of distributing the medicine. So sometimes the clients may get the wrong medicine, and the consequence of getting wrong medicine is huge because you're not taking the right amount or even the right type of medicine. So this professor put together this software and also a system where all the institutions, the elderly institution, can employ, where all this, you see these medicines, they are already packed in this confined capsules. So whenever they're delivered to the elderly homes, they are already 100% accurate. And he also creates softwares and then hardwares where they can verify the client's name as well as the medicine that they take. So it effectively reduces all the error rate to essentially zero. And now elderly institution, they don't have to really pay a lot of effort in terms of remembering like the accuracy problem. So I think I really appreciate this, and I want to talk about this to you guys. Okay. I want to talk about Elderly Got Talent. This is an interesting thing in terms of it's not really about technology, not really about innovation. It's about knowing where elderly wants, knowing what your clients want. Because we have been running a lot of classes for the elderly. We want to fill up their time, or we want to make their life interesting. So we wanted to learn calligraphy, we wanted to learn drawing. But it doesn't really interest them because it's just learning. And then we recently just trying to do a competition around, and then trying to give a little prize like what one of our speakers did to you guys. And it actually ran up a lot of interest for them, and then they felt like, wow, okay, need to improve on it. And then they started to, practicing it by themselves, even at nighttime they wanted to improve the calligraphy, and even we did singing contests too. So eventually, I think this is what the self-initiative that brings them to a lot of, happiness. So I think after all, about service innovation is not about technology. I think it's about trying to throw something new to your clients and trying to know what their needs. And it doesn't be very innovative, but as long as they felt, mentally happy, I think that's a successful project. Okay, because I only have 1 minute left, I'll really go very fast. Okay, so about the store, that we also run 4 stores in Hong Kong selling elderly products. We also have stores. We're trying to branch out into Watsons. This is one of the stores in in the shops, and we want to expand that as well. We think this is a very good opportunity for us to increase our point of sales for our products. So just to go through quickly about product range, we have clothing, food, transport products like wheelchairs, walking sticks, and rollerbladers. These are all things that elderly potentially use when they need it. So as we explained, there is a bigger proportion of elderly people in Hong Kong. So these are products that I think are going to be in increasing demand in the future. Okay. Okay. So I think that's pretty much all I want to say. I want to throw out just 2 questions. Maybe we can discuss it later as a group. How can technology help to cater the elderly better in the future? And what can businesses do to better serve the user experience of elderly? I think the first one I want to comment a little bit is that, as I said, just talk about the elderly got talent. I think technology it doesn't necessarily help to cater the elderly better. It's about how we we use technology to make them, become better life. And technology is not a must, I think. Just like what we did, like a simple competition can make them very happy. And for this one, user experience, I think we can really talk about it as a group. Okay. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. Thank you, Senior. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, Charles. So nowadays we have a lot of group buying marketing platform online. So we are going to introduce this speaker, and we are very honored to have Mr. KK Wong. He is the founder of World Marketing Co. Limited. And KK Wong is actually initiated the first group buying marketing business in Hong Kong, namely Gig On Song in 2010. Taking advantage of the fast-growing social media network, it becomes a win-win portal for both customers and merchants, with shopping offers covering dining, entertainment, fashions, and more. So we are very honored to have KK Wong here to introduce us his platform.
Okay, the last one to go, so almost the time to have dinner. Okay, I will make it quick. So I feel very honored to be invited to share my experience. Actually, I learned a lot from other speakers and also the audience. A little bit introduction about myself. So I graduated from HKUST. In 2008. I worked in Shanghai for 1.5 years in McKinsey for research, and then I returned to Hong Kong to start my first business, which is the group buying website. So at that time, I was thinking, how can I start my first business without much capital, without much network, or even without much knowledge in a specific industry? So I think my example may be closer to other audience at this moment, how to starting from zero and then build your first business. So first, what comes to my mind is building something cheap, then not costly. In Hong Kong, if you want to run a physical business, you need to have a shop. It is going to be expensive, that's costly. So that's why I thought of running a website. And for a website, you need people to come, you need people to use it frequently, and what's the incentive? Economic incentive is one of the biggest incentive you can imagine. You can also do social good, the social innovation, but giving them discount is an easier way to do it. So that's how I come up with the idea of getting people together in order to get an attractive discount. We negotiate offers with them, with merchants. Group buying is not a new concept. It exists for a long time for like physical products, but at that moment for service is not really a big thing, or not really a new thing that exists in the market. So at that time I worked with a programmer in mainland to build our first website, and at that time it is 2010, while my programmer was working hard to build a website, I wasn't sit idly here. So I started building a fans page, which under the Gig On Song name, talk about discount, talk about new shop opening, talk about how to save money in your daily life, in order to get members that are maybe price sensitive or maybe the potential member of the group buying website. And I also do something to test the group buying model, although the website is not there. So I create an event. I talk to the shop, negotiate a discount, say, hey, if we got 100 people signing up for this event or clicking attending on the Facebook page, can you give us a 10% off discount, something like that. At that time, we talked to a cafe for some exotic food. But it worked. We saw people really clicking attending, and some of them really converted to customers. So we thought, although it is a new model, people are still willing to try. They are willing to share with their friends because they want to meet the target of 100 people, and the discount works. So after a few months, we gathered 10,000 fans on the fans page. At that time, Facebook isn't. It was already popular, but it wasn't very common to have fans page over 10,000 people at that time. But now it's many fans page can do that. And so we use it to bargain for more offers with merchants and launch the website. And we start getting orders and customers. And then the story was picked up by media, and then the business just took off. It was a bit lucky, actually. When we launched the business, we just signed up a few merchants that we will run out of deals in a week of time. But then we got media coverage in the fourth or fifth day, and then we got I still remember that time we got 1,000 members sign up for a single day, and also hundreds of merchants approaching, willing to give offers. Some of them are really bizarre offer, everything you can imagine. Theft service. That I couldn't really imagine how to use it. How to promote a customer. So a bit far from the topic, we talk about user experience design. I'm not really an expert of user experience, but the concept of user experience is really think about the customer first, the user first. Imagine who are the user. Not only what they want, their motivation, their need, their aspiration, and also their pain points. For a business or for social innovation, you either meet their needs or remove their pain points. So, and you need to imagine the user as realistic as possible, the gender, the age, the education, the background, and then and then what he thinks, what he does, what he feels, and like the music story. You need to understand the reason behind the consumption. And then and then you imagine it. Actually, ideally, you are the user of your own service, because you can't find such service in the market. You create yourself. You feel so painful that you want to solve this problem, and you believe that there are also other people facing the same problem. So that's why you create a service, or that's why you innovate for social innovation. If not, so you need to observe your typical customer, test your hypothesis whether your assumption is correct. We assume the students are using group buying. Actually, they don't, because they don't have credit card. Maybe that is an example, and maybe all areas are better target. So through continuous testing your hypothesis, you get a better idea of what works, what doesn't. The customer is king. You need to believe your customer. If your idea doesn't work, it doesn't mean the customer is stupid. It means your idea is stupid. So you need to obey this law that the market tells the truth. And yeah, I guess it's almost time. So I think, first of all, you need to really think in the shoes of your customers. And ideally, you are the customer of your own service. You do what you love. And that's why you keep on trying, keep on having failure, but still continue to do what you love. Okay, thank you very much.
So thanks a lot for all the speakers sharing just now. And now this is the second panel session discussion, and will be facilitated by another dragon, from the global citizenship. And he is actually Mr. Lawrence Loy. And Mr. Lawrence, I will have a short background introduction of Lawrence. And Lawrence is actually current global communication director of the Chen Yidan Foundation. And he has served as a PR consultant at Ogilvy PR and Weber Shandwick before setting up the first social enterprise PR agency in Hong Kong. And now Lawrence is focusing on the development of the peer-to-peer healthcare platform EasyCare and various social enterprise startup projects. So the time will go to you, Lawrence. Okay, thanks.
Actually, thanks for Edwin, Charles, and KK sharing. I feel Charles asked questions about how business can better serve elderly service, and probably most of you know that last week we saw a shocking news about the Cambridge elderly home. The horrible stuff. I think it's also about user experience and service excellence issues. With which experience, and Edwin also mentioned how to increase the service level without spending an extra cost. Would you mind share some ideas or thoughts how can improve the services of elderly? Can you give us some insight on that? Just randomly.
Oh, me? Okay. Sure. Okay. I think it's a very broad question on how to improve, the overall service quality of elderly. But as I explained in my presentation, I think it's really about not really focusing on the hardware, but it's about how you look into really what the elderly needs. Because nowadays, if you look into the society, we have a lot of social stigmas about people who are aged. We think that they are, kind of an unwanted group of population. They are not productive. They are really, consuming all resources in society. But I think we really have to think about it on the other side of the coin, because after all, they are really the social capital of our society. They have accumulated a lot of experiences. They have actually a lot of offers to us. It's really up to us to whether or not to reach out to them and actually get their involvement in the society. And I'm really encouraged to see that in the recent years, there are companies that really set up agencies where they wanted to match up the people who are, aged like 65 or above, who are looking for, another adventure in their career with companies who actually appreciate this kind of expertise. And I think there are a lot of successful stories out there, which is great, because I think this is the good starting point to where we can start to realize that these are people actually we should really exploit, and then it's a mutual benefit, because they can be more productive, they can be mentally happy, they won't do something crazy because they don't have nothing to do. Then the other way around is that they can really continue to contribute to society, and then it's a really two-way win. I think that's one of the things that we can really appreciate. Mm-hmm.
Before pass the floor, I also have one question for all of the speakers. Okay. When we talk about upgrading the service or design a new service experience, usually we got some challenges because either you remove the pinpoint or you find a new list. I'm sure that for all of you got some challenges. For example, the elderly service, because up on the media exposure, I'm sure that the industry will got some new innovation on the services. And right now I noticed that even your company have been innovate a lot of time, but I'm not sure the story behind. And KK is starting your own business. Can you talk more about the story behind why you lead the upgrade or the innovation, the service innovation?
If I may, just try to test your knowledge from the Professor Deepak Malhotra again. And let's say you go downstairs to Fengzak, to Fortress, and then you buy this $200 calculator. And the sales tells you, this my shop is a Fortress shop in Mongkok is on sale. This is a $200 calculator. How much discount do you need to go all the way from Central to Mongkok to buy the calculator? Give me a number. How much discount? How much discount? 20? Half price? Half price, 20? Okay, let's make it somewhere in between. Let's make it 40% discount, okay? 40% discount. Okay, let's erase everything as if I said nothing. Okay, now let's try it again. You go down to Fortress downstairs and a phone jack, okay, and you try to buy this MacBook Air, MacBook Air, Apple MacBook for 20,000 Hong Kong dollar. And then the sales tells you, it's, oh, this computer is also for sale, this MacBook Air for sale in Mongkok. So how much discount would make you to travel all the way from Central Station to Mongkok Station? How much discount? Give me a number, give me a number. What number? 10? 5? 5? 5? 10? What? 5? Okay, let's make it somewhere in between. Let's say 8, okay? Somewhere in between, whatever that number is. Okay, the question here is not about buying a calculator or buying a MacBook Air. The question is, for calculator, you need 40% discount from 200. 200, 40% discount is $80. When I say you buy the MacBook Air, 20,000, you said you need 8%, 8% discount, right? 8% discount of $20,000 is 1,600. To make you to travel from Central to Mongkok back to Central again wasted you an hour. In the first case, you think, what, how much? $80 is worth your time. But in the second case, is $1,600. That's worth your time. You do exactly the same thing to travel to Mongkok and just come back. So it's a difference between $80, you do exactly the same thing, and in the later case, it's worth $1,600 to do exactly the same. If the sales told you that you're buying this 20,000 MacBook Air, you know what, I'm gonna give you this 0.05% discount, 9,995 折, let's say, right? Then what do you tell the sales? Of course I'm gonna buy it here, right? If the sales is giving only $80 discount to buy the MacBook Air in downstairs for 20,000, then they're selling it to you for 19,920. What would you do? You're just going to buy it downstairs. What's the moral of the story? What's the moral of this case? According to Deepak Malhotra again. It's funny, huh? When you buy a 200 calculator, you become, because you're anchoring at 200, everything else relative to 200 is expensive. If you're buying a MacBook Air for 20,000, everything else is relative to 20,000. Then you feel like $80 to $20,000 is nothing. Then you need $1,600 to make you travel all the way from Central to Mongkok. The moral of the story is, for income, right? Whatever income that you want to generate, try to do the business in a 6-star hotel. In a 6-star hotel, 6-star restaurant, then everything else is cheap, okay? Then you get more income. But for the expenses, go to a 大茶餐廳, 大排檔, okay? Go to all these like cheap local restaurants, and you say that it's only for a whole meal, it's only for $40. For all the bills that you pay, is anchored to a cheap 茶餐廳. Then your expenses will be lower. To answer your question, in the past I used to buy and sell businesses. An average price of buying and selling a business, maybe it's around what, $500,000 Hong Kong dollar, 50 萬, maybe $1 million Hong Kong dollar. The average price that I sold was only $500,000 Hong Kong dollar. I was anchoring at calculator. And now I want to be in the shop business. Average price, as Charles Low in Hong Kong, a prime shop in Hong Kong, maybe it's around 50 million Hong Kong dollars, or maybe 100 million Hong Kong dollars. On Bond Street, maybe it's around what, 500 million Hong Kong dollars. I want to anchor at the MacBook Air level. And that's the service level that I'm hoping to upgrade myself to.
Okay. Oh, very fine. I would like to add on the elderly center service, because that Cambridge elderly center claim it is 6-star hotel or 6-star service, and but we know that it isn't true. It is not the truth. And when we talk about user experience design, some people thought of is only design of the website, of the app, but it's actually all the contact point the customer have with the business. Not only the website, not only the app, but also your service, also your staff, also your customer service. And you can see that their staff are not believing in the values that serving the elderly well. It is common sense. It is like how you want to be treated, you treat others. If they can't do it, or maybe they are vision, or they write the good words, how we treat elderly, but their staff don't believe in it. So when we talk about user experience, we need to have the people all believing in it, no matter the role, no matter what they do, as long as they are serving the customers, as long as they work in the company. So for my group buying business, It is a bit interesting that we don't have good ourselves, we don't have service ourselves. We work with all kind of different merchants. And order experience is just half of the story. The other half is on the shop, on the redemption center. How do they get the product? How do they get the service? And we need to really educate or communicate with them that we are bringing customer to them, and we hope that they can stay in the shop for a long time, for future business. And we hope they also buy in our values to treat customer well, and take this chance to showcase how good they are, so a customer can stay. So I think we need to think all aspects of how customer interact with our business, no matter it is within our company or with our partners. So we consistently improving our service. Also we even write guidelines for the merchants how to serve the customer well, how to let them not feeling discriminated by using coupons, so to enhance the overall service experience.
The question is about,
for example, cultural home. Like I noticed that there's a new project about the elderly home or elderly hotel. Go to the residential project for elderly.
Okay. So why do a project like this? I think this is an innovative project in Hong Kong, but it's not innovative at all in the rest of the world, because actually retired residential projects are really all over. If you look at North America, there are a lot of them. If you look into China, many of entrepreneurs are building them. In Japan, there are a lot of them already. So why isn't there one in Hong Kong so far, done by a private investor? I think it's really about the return and really about the alternative in the real estate sector. I think people would, when you consider building a hotel versus like an elderly home or elderly project, the return is much quicker for hotel. And because when you look into the expense, hotel doesn't really require you to hire a lot of laborers to take care of the elderly people. But and then for elderly, on the other side of the story, nowadays it's very hard to hire people in that sector, because a lot of them are labor that have a lot of alternative. They would choose to do works that is less demanding, and it's actually in reality is that it's very hard to work in the elderly sector, because it's a very demanding business. The clients would, they have a lot of demands on you, and then also the clients and families, they also have a lot of demand on you. So it's a lot of pressure for a company as well as the employees to serve them well. I think that's a lot of the obstacles that people see in elderly business. But then when you look at the elderly residential, it's actually a different story, because we are talking about people who are more independent, people who can live their own life by the various means, and they are not highly dependent on you to looking after them 24/7. So this is more like a hotel, as Lauren explained. So, but I think it's not very exotic. On the other hand, like a hotel, like Edwin, 6-star hotel, people think about, wow, it's so good. But have you heard of 6-star elderly residential project? Probably not, right? But I think this is something that when that doesn't exist, doesn't mean it's not successful potentially, right? So that's something that we're going to be doing it, and I think it's going to be successful.
And for speaker, so time for the floor. Because due to time constraint, we can take 3 questions. Okay, first.
My question directs to Adjunct. Thanks for the very inspiring examples. And I have a question for all these examples. It seems like it's playing a psychological game to induce a favorable behavior from the target. So it's like the 招三毛四 games with the monkeys. Is there anything more than the psychological game that I overlooked?
Any more than psychological game
Is there anything more than just playing game with the targets to induce some response that's favorable to us? Is there anything deeper or anything else?
I think it's only the psychological benefits is the only motivation for the consumer to change their behavior?
I think it's very difficult to split the two. It's like the way it's like treating your wife, right? It's not it's a good it's like treating your wife. Some people say 未到80歲唔好俾飽飯佢食。咁啊not until they're 80 you don't feed them well. But then you can show everything at once. But I think it's all about in business, right? In social or in any sort of innovation. If you have unlimited resources, of course you can do anything. But then when you have limited resources, it's all about the mindset that you try to sell. For example, right? Let's say if you are, I was like holding on this telephone, okay? And then there are two ways that I can sell you. Let's say your name is what's your name? Esimo, okay, Esimo. Now let's say, right, anyway, everybody's selling exactly the same phone. Everybody's selling exactly the same phone. And now I tell you, what, this is a Samsung phone, platinum, blah, 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 and then the useful life is for the whole life. Once you press here, everything, everything is on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, then it controls all the electronic appliances in your home. And then it's a limited production, it's only 100 in the world, and then this number is 88, very good number. Give me, I'm selling it to you for 20,000, give me a number. Yeah, how much you want to buy from me? I'm selling it for 20,000, how much would you offer me? Let's say you want to buy it. Then,
but there's a very good number.
88, yeah. Then you say, what number you offer me? 20,000. Then you say, 20,000, you offer me 100. I'm gonna kick you out of the door right away. Most people may gonna offer me maybe 16,000, right? 2,000,000 你 offer 8,000,000 because why? You negotiate for the sake of negotiating. And then I say, you know what, 18,000, then I say it's 19,000, then you say 18,000, 1,800, I say 18,900, and then you say 18,500, let's say. Then I say, the more you pay, it's fine, or I pay, or I receive less, it's okay. But then once you get this, you see there's a scratch on the screen. And then what do you say? Then you're going to run away. But then if I present it differently, for example, exactly the same phone, and then I say that, you know what, I'm selling this Samsung phone to you, it's a platinum blah, control all the appliances at home. And then I say that, you know what, it's for sale for 20,000, but then there's a scratch on the screen already, but then regardless, you use it, you're gonna have a scratch anyway. It's limited edition, it's only 100 in the world. And then I'm selling it for 20,000, how much you offer me? Probably 18,000 again. Then I say 19,000, you said 18,500, I said 18,900, you say 18,600, I say 18,800, you said 18,700. We're negotiating down to that $100. You can pay more or I can receive less. We negotiate for the sake of negotiating, okay? And then now you get the phone, and then you open up the back, and then you see a number. It's 88. How do you feel? You feel happy? Are you going to strike the price? 18,800, probably. You become a happy customer. Two exactly same phone. Number 88 also has a scratch on the screen. Exactly same song. Exactly same listing price of 20,000. In the first case, you run away. You feel that I cheated on you. Even if you buy it, you feel like you're being cheated. In the second case, you know that it's scratched, and you go back home and happily, and at the price of 18,800. So which company provides a better service? Second one, of course. But then is there any cost associated in that? No, it's all about negotiation. It's all about presentation of facts. So I say that it's very difficult to split the two.
I think actually, knowledge, but we can do it more simple way, just like human experience. So, any other questions? One more question. Take the chance. If no more questions, may I ask all the guests have a wrap up for our these plenary sessions? Can you 1 minute and to wrap up the importance of service experience or service innovations for a key takeaway for our audience? May perhaps KK first?
Okay. So user experience is about user, remember this, and also user is always right. So get a concept right for them.
Okay, so to wrap up on my presentation, I think talking about serving the elderly, I think we have to really change the mindset of thinking about as people who are old, and then people who are not constructive and positive. All those negative things we should really scratch away, and we should really start thinking about a positive mindset. How we can really engage them in society and how we can, bring all the positive things out from them and, make a better world. That's my takeaway.
If I may share my last story, okay? I'm gonna make it very short. You go down the street on downstairs on Queens Road Central, you pick up $500, and then tomorrow you pick up $500 again. Are you happier than you just go down and pick up $1,000? You pick up 1,000. Put it this way, you pick up $1,000. Okay, that's it. And or you go down today, pick up 500, and tomorrow same spot you pick up 500 again. Which case are you happier? You pick up 1,000 or you pick up 500 and then 500? You pick up 500, right? Okay. Now let's grab that. Okay. And now you go down the street again. You open up your wallet. You found out that you have lost $1,000 from your wallet. Okay. Do you feel painful more, or then let's say now you go down the street and then you open up your wallet, you find out you lost $500, somebody just stole it from here, and then you try to put away your wallet again, then the next day you open up your wallet, you lost another $500. Which one is more painful? Also the second one is more painful. Yeah. Moral of the story about service excellence is what? Progressively, is aggregate the pain and spread out the gain. You always want the customers to be happier by showing them 500 and then 500 tomorrow. Or maybe 100 today, 100 tomorrow, 100 the day after tomorrow, 100 the day after for 10 consecutive days. I'm sure the customers will be very happy rather than just give them 1,000 right up front. Also for the pain, try to aggregate the pain. Don't try to steal 100 from somebody's wallet and just steal 1,000 right away. That would be less painful. If I treat you like a friend, I slap you 2 times, done. I treat you like a friend. If I treat you like an enemy, I piak today and tomorrow I see you again, I piak. That's why it's aggregate the pain and spread out the gain is service excellence.
Yeah, thanks all of the speakers. I think they share really practical experience. I hope that if you want to join the field in social innovation, social entrepreneurship, or even do some good businesses, ideas will be very useful for business.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Pass the time to MC.
Thank you, and may I invite you, please once again give all the big hands to all the speakers. Really amazing sharing, and I'm sure all of us enjoy a lot and also be inspired a lot from this kind of section. So to thank all of you, maybe now may I invite Ms. Julia Ho, JP Director of the Dragon Foundation, and also accompanied by Ms. Cindy Leung, President of DragoNation, to present souvenirs to our guests. So maybe, we can take it. Thank you, Julia. Okay, yeah. So maybe, we take the photo at once, and also Lawrence. So maybe I'll just stand closer and. Thank you so much, and please be seated. Thank you. So thank you very much, all the speakers. So here comes our very last session. And before that, I just want to have a question for the floor. Do you think Kenneth and myself have done a pretty acceptable job for today? Thanks a lot for all the responses. And actually, we are, do you know why? Yes, and we are actually coming from the Dragon 100, and Kenneth was from 2014, and myself was from 2010. So let's welcome today's last guest, Mr. Stan Ito, and he's the Secretary General of the Dragon Foundation. He will give us a brief introduction of the Dragon 100 program for 2015.
And yes, good evening. And I think I'm very excited to witness to have witnessed the effort and the success of the DragoNation for this the first public event. And because of your unleash your talent, energy, and the passion, that so many sponsors and very brilliant speakers and change the schedule and don't collect your fees from you, and also spare the whole afternoon here to for this program, and I call this magic dragon. Okay, so below is a very short video to introduce the Dragon Foundation and how they come from and what is the mission of the foundation and what we are going to do. And then Mabel will have a very short introduction of the Dragon 100, the upcoming program in August. And you can enroll if you are not yet a Dragon, okay?
中華民族歷史源遠流長，文化傳統深厚，發展至今，中國喺國際嘅地位日趨重要。我哋喺追求進步嘅同時，亦都重視傳承。由香港青年協會、民政事務局同民政事務總署攜手成立嘅龍泉基金，致力培育華裔青年成為明日領袖。透過各種培訓同交流，期望達至4個目標，包括聯繫全球華裔青年、發揚中華文化、促進世界共融以及發揮創新精神。龍泉基金每年都挑選100位嚟自世界各地嘅傑出華裔青年參與龍匯100華人青年領袖論壇，透過內地嘅實地考察，探索中國歷史文化同有關嘅課題，加強相互交流，建立聯繫網絡。我哋都選拔本港嘅優秀青年參與世界公民計劃，前往世界各地探討國際關注嘅議題，並且培訓青年成為勇於承擔嘅世界公民。一向大受本地青年歡迎嘅傑出華人講座系列，由知名嘅華裔人士同專家分享佢哋嘅奮鬥歷程、人生經驗同傑出成就。嘉賓就包括有楊振寧、崔琦、何大一、查良鏞、白先勇、郎朗、李寧、姚明、李雲迪等等。龍泉基金每年都會舉辦唔同類型嘅籌款，作為各項教育活動嘅經費。當中嘅籌款活動包括慈善首映禮、高爾夫球賽、慈善義賣、慈善晚宴等等，都得到籌募委員會、各界知名人士同社會賢達嘅鼎力支持。曾經參與龍泉基金活動嘅青年，自發組成匯龍坊同香港智盈，每年舉辦多項社區活動，鼓勵大家貢獻社會。
世界公民計劃讓我明白到年輕人係有能力同埋有責任去了解世界各地發生嘅事務，從而提出可行嘅解決方案。活動之後，我參加咗 DragoNation， 透過舉辦各類型嘅活動同埋社區服務，除咗凝聚每一年嘅 Dragons 之外，仲可以為社區盡一分力。
認識到100位嚟自全球唔同文化背景嘅華裔青年領袖，我明白到透過熱誠同埋信念，年輕一代亦都可以為社會作出改變，共同創造更加美好嘅世界。
龍泉基金有賴大家嘅支持，持續培訓華裔青年領袖人才，協助佢哋建立自信、建設社會、貢獻國家同胸懷世界。我哋期望社會各界人士積極參與龍泉基金嘅工作，為下一代嘅華人出一分力。
So this is a short video about the background of the Dragon Foundation, and let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel, the project manager of the Dragon Foundation, and who is responsible for this year Dragon 100 program, which will be held from the 1st of August to the 8th of August, which is an 8-day program. So below is just a short slideshow photos. Well, that's the background. So. You can have a look of what the Dragon 100 programs include. So here's some photos that we have taken during previous program, and you can see each year actually we have hundreds of young Chinese people coming from different parts of the world, gathering in Hong Kong, and then for several days of visits. For example, last year we attended the Global Youth Entrepreneurs Forum, which is a forum that we have invited different successful entrepreneurs from different parts of the world to be the speakers, and then to share their experience. And apart from attending the forum, we have some discussion and sharing among the groups, because all the people, all the delegates coming from worldwide, actually they have their own stories, their own experience, and this kind of exchange is what our delegates value so much. And apart from sharing exchange among themselves, they have networking opportunity with different, like Mr. David Land, which is the director. You have met him before earlier today, and then they can network with other speakers. And what's more attractive for them is the cultural exchange, because we have delegates coming from different parts of the world, and each part of the world have unique culture. And so we have some kind of cultural performance night for them. And that's a quick slideshow of what elements include in HKUST program. So this is the most important slide, and which summarizes the coming program in August. It's an 8-day program, which the theme is innovation and entrepreneurship. And we will be staying in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou for 8 days. And then we will have 2 days forum, the Global Youth Entrepreneurs Forum, which will be held on the 3rd and the 4th of August. And in day 1, you will be in the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center, which we have invited different successful entrepreneurs to share their successful story with you. And then on the 2nd day, we will go to Shenzhen, where you will have concurrent workshops. Then you can choose to attend the topics that you are most interested in. And why it is so important, because earlier Clive mentioned that this program, the official deadline is tomorrow, which is the 31st of May. But given the privilege to you all sitting here, being friends of dragons, and I have extended the deadline for you all. Yeah. So you can apply if you're interested. I do recommend you to apply this program, and I can allow you the deadline extends to the 10th of June, which is more than a week longer. So what you have to do is to first, I highly recommend you to submit the online form, submit the online application. So this is the QR code. What you have to do is to scan it now, and then save the link, and then you can do it while during the dinner time or tomorrow during Sunday. And apart from applying online, and then you can pack your own package and all the supporting documents, for example, your certificate, etc. And what's more, because we want to guarantee the quality of all the delegates in the program, so it's not because of you're interested, so you apply and then we will select you. What we focus on is every delegate or every applicant, you should have a nominator to nominate you to the program. So who can be the nominator? Maybe if you're a student, you can invite your professor, your teachers to be your nominator. Or if you have already started working, you can invite your supervisor or your management level to be your nominator. And of course, those sitting next to you may be your nominator as well. For example, you can invite, well, if you know Clive is definitely a nominator, a good nominator. And then and all the Friends of Dragons, well, they can also nominate you to the program. So what we focus on is we want someone who know you well, can write a piece of short recommendation why you are suitable to enter this program, how you are going to inspire others in the program, and what are you able to contribute afterwards. So this is a kind of nomination form, and then as I mentioned, the certificate and supporting documents, so which should be sent to us by 10th of June. So below is my contact, and if you have any questions or queries, you can simply send me an email or give me a call in the office. or if you're going to join dinner afterwards, yeah, I will be there too. So if you have any problems, you're most welcome to find me. So I guess it's time for dinner, right?
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. Thank you. And if any of you here really interested in our program, really welcome you to have a look and join us as soon as possible. So at last, I would also like to invite Cindy
to give out a closing speech or a few words of today's really successful program. Cindy, please.
Thank you. How do you feel after a day? Great. How do you feel? Great! Yes, I feel so inspired. First of all, I really have to thank to our director, Ms. Julian Ho, who has been here for the whole day with us. Thank you. And our Professor Wu, who gave us a very inspiring introduction of leadership in innovation. Thank you very much. And after that, we have our plenary section. We have Jason, thank you very much. Jimmy, thank you. Jimmy is actually our Dragon 100 2004 participant. Wow, so you see our dragons are really diverse and outstanding. Then our second plenary section, thank you very much, Edwin, Dr. Edwin Lee, thank you very much. And he has a very, very tight schedule. This afternoon he has like a talk in TDC, and then afterwards he's going to Boston. Thank you very much to join us in this tight schedule, thank you. And we have Mr. KK Wong as well. Mr. KK Wong is also Dragon, no, he is not from Dragon 100, but another program, flagship program, Global Citizenship 2006. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Charles Long. He's a very good friend of me, and thank you very much. Oh, by the way, he has just got a little baby, wow. 2 weeks old. 2 weeks old, yeah, and thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. It's difficult for him to squeeze 2 hours for us, you know, yeah, for the baby. And special thanks to our moderator, Mr. Clive Lee, our founding president of DragoNation. Thank you. And our also Dragon again, Global Citizenship 2008, Mr. Lawrence Lui. Thank you. How was today? Great, thank you. And we have a lot of people behind the scenes. Let me invite our team. I would be nothing without this big team. Very, very helpful. We have Mr. Rex Lai. Mr. Rex Lai, the event committee chair. And we have co-chair, Mr. Lamson Lam. Please come to the stage and join me, please. And we have the 2 very, very good MCs, Mr. Kenneth Chan and also Ms. Wing Kong. We have all the support from Dragon Foundation. Mabel helped us a lot as well. Thank you very much. And the heroes behind the scene, we have Priscilla and Doris from HKUST Business School. Thank you. Last but not the least, the Vice President of DragoNation, Chopin and Anita. Thank you.